I had to fix the stream over on the, sometimes it goes dead over there. I want to make sure I include chat for the replay. Yeah, Shop 801 Lane, Brooke. I'll tag her right now. Not Shop 802, but Shop 801. Okay, I'm gonna go back in the chat so I can read it. I recasted my stream because I want to make sure. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but do I think the buy it now is worth loading? Yeah, I do. But let's talk about this. There are sellers that love to just run auctions. They do generic random auctions, which means they don't spend the time because they want to just move the item at whatever price they're comfortable. $1, $5, $3, $8, or more. When they list it, they have to, you don't see the back end of it where they're listing it generically. And when I say generic, they might say, let's just say I have this box like this, right? Okay. I have this little box and I know this box is going to be like, say, 4 to 7 ounces. I have something small in it. I'm going to put on there, the way I name it is I name it small, small, and then in parentheses, I'll put 4 to 7 ounce. Okay. And then I'm going to have 50 of those at that weight, or actually, I'll have 1,000 of those. And then when I sell something from the 4 to 7 ounce category, I might show you guys 8 or 9 items that I run and none of them sell. But say item number 10 runs and it sells, I'm going to put a sticker on it, number one. And I'm going to color code my stuff so I know that it's a small one, small number one. Like, how else am I going to know? So I might even put in the description, purple or PRP so I know what it's for on the back end. This is what you're seeing. So that's what random pulls are. Now, what if I have this box and I pull it and I have 1 pound items and they're bigger, they take up more, they're again 1 pound. I'm going to change my random item to be large 1 pound, right? And I'm going to use maybe a red sticker. I mean, you have to figure out what works for you. Not everybody has to do that. You could just even do blue tape. Okay, so random pulls, some people do it, some people don't. Some people actually, what I've done is when I do really small stuff, I have this. I just literally wrote it on a piece of paper with a ruler, and it's literally one through, this is for giveaways, 1 through 23. I put the item on top of it. I know already, and you're like, giveaways, those are tiny. Sometimes I'll give away weights or I'll give away some mini figure. Amy Lisbeth, thank you for the tip. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. This is, you know what? This is my lamination way. What I do is I took a clear packing tape and just ran it over the paper. Done, laminated. It sets up on my shelf, and then I can put those little tiny. I sell a lot of Bitty Pop Funko, so I can use this for anything. And then when it comes time to ship, it's all right in front of me. I look at the packing list. Okay, okay, Amy Lisbeth or D Archivist, you bought 1, 2, and 8. Okay, so that's one way to do it. And then people have nothing in their buy it now. Okay, nothing in the buy it now because I've seen Green 13 do this for years. There's absolutely nothing in the buy it now, and they're only running auctions because they don't want you to go get lost in the bin in the buy it now because they want you to focus on what's on screen and what they're running the entire time they're live. Okay, so let's see what you guys said. You do letters for your category A, B, C, D for the, hey, that's pretty good too. Use bins sometimes for each user. My shows a small buyer account. Yeah. So I have my bin loaded. How many items do I have in my bin? Let's see. My bin's kind of out of whack, but I have over 500 items. I usually have about 800. Grizzly, I do. I do. But I will say this. Here's the thing. With $1 starts, what some sellers have done who have grown on the app, when they started, they were not doing $1 start. I've seen them. They started out doing, regular starts, but they found a way to make money from that and then buy a huge quantity of it. So their cost per item is probably relatively pretty low, right? Those sellers, what you don't see on the back end, they might have 50 items that sell for $1, but then they might have 500 items that sell for like 7, 8, 9, and $10 because they've created this following and people go crazy for them when they go live. So they show up and then 2 or 3 people might want the item, $1 here, bids it up, right? But now when they're finished with the show, they got to pack it up. So the items that cost them $1 are probably totally a loss. almost always a loss because of the 30-cent fee. They're basically paying 50% commission on that one item. Okay. In order to pay 8%, you got to sell $50 in a show, period. And if you don't understand that, do the math. It's pretty basic, because of the 30-cent credit card fee that's charged. Yes, and the 2.9. That kind of brings it up quite a bit. So, dollar, take a chance on it if you want to, but if you're selling something like this, which is the salsa bowl, chips and salsa bowl for a dollar, and it's probably 3 to 4 pounds packaged, and it sells for a dollar, you just paid your buyer to buy your item. You should have just donated it. True, to be truthful. But what if you have like 50 of those? You're gonna get like 42 cents per item, and then you got to pack it. That's probably all your packaging. Your box you could get free from USPS, but I don't know. I really like work smarter, not harder, but I totally get how people do $1 and do really well at a dollar. But there's the back end you don't get to see, which is all the packing materials, all the labor they might have to pay for somebody to pack that stuff up, all the time they're going to have to spend if they don't label anything, uh, to go back and watch the video receipts if they work, if they called it out right to say what buyer got what. Because if you're putting like generic listings and using blue tape, maybe you have a system that works. What's up, Gen X? How you doing? Okay, let me go back in the chat because I saw a couple other questions. You have, oh, retro, you've been seeing a lot of, I have been seeing a ton, especially if you go in the shopping tab in Google and you search for items, it's Whatnot comes up a lot now. Daylight, I know, Vintage Vixen. Well, it's kind of dark in here. Yeah, it's a little bit dark. Yeah, so, you know what? Northern Vintage, I kind of do on the premium items that you want. Or if you like, here's what I started doing about 2 years ago. I started loading my buy it now, and I just loaded and loaded. And then when I was not on Whatnot, I was selling stuff. Why not? Who doesn't want Whatnot to work for them? So it doesn't work for everybody. It's all about how much, and it takes a lot of time, right? It really depends on what you're listing. You'd be surprised what people want to buy. You'd be surprised. Try it out and see. Take 25 items. I'll tell you what started the buy it now for me. So one night I was on Whatnot. When I started Whatnot, there was not a lot of sellers. I started like 3.5 years ago, but as a seller, it'll almost be 3 years in October. Okay. So when I was going live, there wasn't a lot of people on at night, only sports card guys and Pokemon. That's it. A couple of people here and there. And Griff was on, Griff's Thrifts. And so I'd watch him, and I tried to have my first show. It failed, it flopped. It was probably user error. Yeah. And so I was like listening to Griff, and I bought a camera from him. I bought two cameras from him. And he was like selling, like he was in the back of his truck and doing something else, and then there was another guy doing the same thing, and I'm thinking, this is kind of fun. I think I'm gonna maybe just give it a shot. This guy says if I could do it, anybody could do it. So I started going live. At my first show was like at 10:23 in the morning, and I sold like 9 items. I had like 9 people in there. I was super excited. And I thought, wow, I just sold 9 items on the internet without, I didn't show my face or anything. I just was talking to them. The first show was super awkward because I'm reading the chat, and then like people would ask me questions about the item. And I just had a little table with a sign that says "De-Archivist, sold as is, no returns." That was pretty much it. And so then I had another show and another show and another show. And then pretty soon I saw a little loophole in the Whatnot, that because I have insomnia, so nobody was really on in vintage decor at night because I started really selling a lot of vintage decor. So I started doing these 10:23 p.m. shows. And what happens to people when they can't sleep? They're scrolling on an app somewhere. Why not come over here? So I did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights from 10:23 till whenever. So one night I'd been on for like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, and I got rated. I had gotten rated before, but I got rated with like 100 people, and I had nothing in my buy now. Everything was auction, and it was kind of like, oh my gosh, I felt like a lot of pressure. So I still ran stuff. I still sold a bunch of stuff, but I could have probably got people to do the buy it now. So I wasn't prepared. So then I started loading my bin. So I had like 50 items in my bin. And then one night, a coin collector, antiquity coin, raided me and tried to troll me and bid my vase up to like a crazy amount of money. And I was just like, well, and then people were going to my buy it now and they were blooping like crazy. I think I had like 35 or 45 items. They bought all of them. They bought all of them. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I still to this day, I'm like, that was like the kindest thing ever, really. Never, no expectation, nothing. Yeah, it was very cool. And it was like a pay it forward kind of thing. They did like an auction and they sold it to a high bidder for 3 grand. So they went to me, they went to Lynette, and they went to somebody else and they literally spent 1 grand. Those were fun days, huh? And it's totally different now. Yeah, it's totally different. There's still people that do that kind of stuff, but this was just a completely different, like, nobody had to do sponsored giveaways. People just did it because they wanted to do it. And actually, I have like 4 or 5 people that came from that raid that still shop with me today. They'll just drop in my bite now or send me a message. Hey, I'm looking for this. Now that I know what they want, I mean, I got really lucky. I would call that pretty blessed, you know. How am I organizing my bin items? You're trying to get more in your bin than wait, Bunny said something good. I'm gonna answer that one. The shop is kind of like our employee and works for us when we aren't on. Hi, Bunny, honey, how you doing? I agree. I agree. Treat it good. So, you can click on any one of mine. What I kind of do, there's no real organization with it. But on I use item numbers. So, for example, I have vintage, right? So I might do pound sign VOO, whatever, or it correlates with my Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah. So, when you think the bite now won't work for you, put a few things in there. Do you need to have like 800? No. What happens when buyers go click on the shop and they hit the buy it now tab or the bin tab, right? Because everybody says go to my bin, but this is really called a shop. If you look below it, it says shop. Okay. You always want to make sure you have something in there, because some people do just like to buy stuff. We no longer have blooping. We no longer have the gift chat. But when you go click on the item in the buy it now, and if somebody has a lot of it, at the very top, you could search for what the item is. So I always use the keywords that apply to that item. I don't use random keywords, right? I always use it. So I don't know. I am a community host for Whatnot. I don't work for them, but I'm a community host, so I get like a couple of extra little perks that are really nice. So when I do a sponsored show from Whatnot, they send me like some merch to give to you guys. I don't have any right now because they're rebranding everything. But they pay for the shipping, they boost the show, so that's a pretty good perk. Plus, I get to test the app when they do like some fun stuff, and then I get information. They never tell me like what I have to say, but they might say, "Okay, what day do you want to do your shipping show? We need you to talk about shipping." So last week was my shipping show, and I talked all about shipping and some of the things to have like good workflow. You can find all of those videos on YouTube. There's a bunch of them. There's probably 800 videos and probably 200 are on selling coffee talk. Yours doesn't show when you're on live in your shop. Maybe you don't have them featured in your show. Yeah. So what you have to do, I'm going to tell you right now without going through all the steps. I made a video on the Seller Hub and it's step by step how to list, how to assign, how to reserve, how to feature items in your bin or auction. It's a lifesaver. That's what you do for that. Yeah, and that's working for you, right? Yeah, so as far as like my inventory item, if I do like blind bags or mystery boxes, I'm always using that keyword in the title. Because hold on, I guess I kind of forgot to charge my. Hold on, I got to charge my phone. I always plug in. That was the last thing I didn't do. There we go. I do. I have a lot of YouTube videos. I started doing that about 2 years ago just to kind of document this whole thing. Same exact name, same exact name. Yeah. Is the B and for B and number of items. So mine would be like, for example, because I search by my stock code because that helps me find it rather than looking for the item. So if I put it in vintage, I'm gonna do pound sign V. If it's an estate sale item, which is most things, it's an E. If it's electronics, I think I do it like an EC. Let's see. Yeah, some items don't have it because they're just regular stock items. Mini brands, I'll do like MB and then whatever the number. And somewhere along the way, whatnot kind of I do it for me. I do it for me. Whatnot doesn't like do it that way for me. If I have a piece of vintage jewelry, I'm gonna put that in vintage jewelry category. But my show is in estate sales. It always has been for the last year and a half. Before that, I only sold in vintage decor. Um, but the reason why I sold in vintage decor is because I was selling a ton of glass. And I've switched what I sell because I like to rip and ship, like all the fun stuff at night, like cats, things like that. Yeah, they're fun to rip. And then I have a whole different setup now for streaming that. What's up, movie poster? Slowly being fenced, but I think you should. I think you should. You have a unique product and you have tons of it. The problem is you're going to have to photograph all these items front and back. But if you have high-end things, posters, that's what movie posters sells, and candles, you get some take like 4 pictures. Make yourself like a little photo booth at a foam board. You're talking like 2, $3. But for yours is different because you got to lay something down to keep it flat to photograph it. Angie, that's a good question. That's a good question. Well, there's the difference between the two is estate sales is like, for example, let's think of yard sales. Let's think higher end, maybe. A storage unit would be storage units only. So I wouldn't go into a storage unit category unless I had a unit and I was digging in the unit to sell. I mean, that's pretty much it. So as far as the sellers, we sell similar stuff, absolutely. Yeah. And it's I don't know. I feel like some of the categories, like there's a yard sale, there's a garage sale, there's a estate sale. It's kind of the same. If I was a garage sale seller, people probably go to that thinking the items are $1, $2, but they're not always that. I feel like that category is buried in the app. I'm going to go where there's more buyers, there's more viewers. So when I go on the app, I'm going to go to categories. It's going to show me a state sale category. It's going to show me how many people are watching the shows. If I click on the category, it's going to expand it and it's going to show me the subcategories and how many people are in those shows. Bitches Vixen, thank you, thank you. You got a one-on-one with me. I'm so excited. I'll send you a message after the show and then we'll pick a date and time. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I do one-on-ones now for people that want coaching, more of a, accountability kind of partnership. So if you have any questions about it, that one's in my bio now on the top. So Vintage Vixen just bought a one-on-one with me. And I do them in the mornings. It's just a better time. We're all fresh to go. And don't forget the time change. I'm in California. Okay, you have 32,000 photos on your phone? It's a lot. I thought I had a lot. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I have an idea for you. Okay. Thank you, thank you. For me, it's B is the box. I would love to get items together in boxes. Yeah, sometimes like curating a show is awesome, but it requires a lot of prep work. Yesterday, I was actually listening to a reworker's passion, Leslie, and while she was talking and motivating, I got motivated. I needed to clean my space because I have a really long desk and it was cluttered with like all these ephemera sheets that I was working on, and all my mystery boxes were not in my whatnot. So while she was talking, I was listening, I was jamming. I literally got my whole workspace cleaned up because sometimes it just happens after you do a show, it's a mess. You got packing stuff all over the place. I had to take boxes out and I got it done in like the 2 hours just listening to her. Okay, you got it. I will send you a message after the show. Okay, let me go back in the chat real quick. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask me. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, let's take the time. If you are a seller on the app, share your show right down here. Now, don't post a link because almost 100% of the people are not going to click on it. Okay. Post your show. Thank you for the raid, everybody. I saw two raids, Envy and Nat, and I saw, hold on, April 40. Thank you for the raid. So you just came into a chat show. I appreciate you. You could raid anybody on Whatnot. You chose to come over here to the Coffee Talk Bunch. Insomniacs, really. Yeah, post your shows, friends. Okay, let's see. What's up, Tamika? I saw you in there a little bit ago. Okay, so it will refresh the chat for me. So let me go in here and look real quick. Yeah. And you know what? This is about networking. Networking is super important to be successful and whatnot. It's not all that's required, but because it's a social media selling and we're connecting, you guys share your shows. Don't say I sell things. Say vintage decor collector curator shows every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Put something into it. Vintage artifacts, just like that. Tomorrow 1:30, Rusty Crusty Raid Train going live every day in September. Shh. Go check her out. Yes. Look at all these sellers. You're going to make coffee? It feels like you should. I'm going to drink mine while it's still hot. You guys share your shows. And if you guys know what I started doing? I started streaming to YouTube the entire Whatnot chat. So I'm in a screen and then the Whatnot chat is there. I had to end that stream and start it over, but it is absolutely there and going live right now. Ooh, I love that out and about. Oh, you do? Is that what you do? Grizzly Gems sports cards? That's what I got approved on Whatnot to sell sports cards because I'm a sports card collector like 30 plus years. And then when PSA grading came out, I said, screw this. This is ridiculous. This is for kids. I was still a kid. Done. And then I got back to collecting it because of Whatnot. But I never gave up my Pokemon cards. I still have my vintage Pokemon. Yeah. Yeah. So networking is super important. Like, if you want to get the most out of Whatnot in the community, go to people's shows. Don't ever spam your show. Listen to me. Don't ever just go on a show and share your show. Make sure they're okay with it. Because some sellers, you might say, "Can I promote?" Well, you just kind of promoted, right? But some sellers, you got to feel the vibe. You got to feel what's going on in it. Because sometimes people will like literally ban you and kick you out, and they don't need to tell you. That's their show, right? So just make sure, like, you come into a show and you read the vibe. Like on Coffee Talk, that's what this is. It's about connecting, right? It's definitely about connecting. So I'm always pretty cool with it. It's just over spamming. Yeah, I do. I feel that's disrespectful too. Also, here's another thing. You know how they have that share your show button here? That's for you to share to your Instagram and to your personal friends. Don't share it to other sellers who you find in the app. You can tag them in the show. It doesn't send a message to their mailbox, but just be on the alert that they're probably going to ban you. I have somebody currently that sends me messages 3, 4 times a day. Please stop. I feel like if I, at this point, when I interact, they're going to think it's like I'm opening the dialogue. I get a lot of messages. I'm not rude or anything. It's just I don't have time to go through all of them. I really try to keep my messages for people that do one on ones with me, my buyers who buy from me, potential buyers, and even raid trains. Or the new thing is people will message you and have how many people are in the message? 20 or 10 people, right? You share to groups on Facebook. Yes, see, that's where you do it. And if you really want to grow your business, you're going to share your show to all your social medias. But when sellers do say that, hey everybody, I'm going to give you the opportunity right now to share your show, that's when you do it. Does that mean someone's going to follow you? They might. They might. Um how do you share to other groups like Facebook? So at the top on desktop or here, there's a share button right here on the phone. You click on it. A window pops up, right? So I'm going to hit share on my show. So I'm going to share to I can't share to Instagram because it'll take me out. There's a copy link. You copy the link and then you could go into your other platform and just paste because it will remember it within the phone. Or you can do it on desktop too. There's like a copy one. I do. I'm on everything with the same name. I don't post there very often. I should. I'm supposed to go live there. Yeah, I'm supposed to go live there, but we'll see. No, you know what? Don't don't feel stupid. Nobody's stupid. You know what the thing is? We all learn it at different things. We all learn it have different levels of knowledge. And for me, I'm a nerd. I'm pressing all the buttons. Yep. I learn something new every day, even about whatnot. I learned something new the other day and I was questioning myself, like, how do I not know that? Don't ask me to repeat what it was because I don't remember. You're not selling yet, but you're taking notes. Bob Jack Tales, how you doing? Look, there's a lot of sellers that will give you advice on the app. And I think it's great, right? All these chat shows, people are putting in their time, they're doing their sponsor giveaways, they're doing whatever they do to make their business thrive. Please trust me when I tell you guys, don't listen to everybody's shipping advice. Not everybody's giving you the right advice because not everybody wants you to succeed. That's the truth. So it's your duty to go look at all Whatnot's videos that they put out and read all the Whatnot terms and the rules. I am also Italian, so I do talk with my hands. Hello, Bubblebee. How you doing? Okay. I tell you guys that because I don't want to see new sellers go start shipping, have a show, run their stuff for $1, and then turn around and not put the right weight in. Guess who's paying for that? The first 5 shipments that you do like that, Whatnot's paying for it. Okay. But after that, I've seen hundreds of sellers do this. Hundreds. Where they go and they take this and they just put 1 to 3 ounce and they don't change the box size and or the weight because this other seller told them not to change it. Please change it. Whatnot wants you to change it. The post office wants you to change it. I saw a lady that posted that she sold 200 items. She was so excited in her first show until she looked at what her sales were. It was negative $65 because she ran everything at $1 and she didn't put the right shipping. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I see it time and time and time and time again. So I will always give you the correct shipping info. Shipping is pretty much the easiest thing on Whatnot. But when you're starting out, don't start selling like big swung vases and little tiny things until you get the hang of Whatnot. I highly recommend 1 to 3 ounce and 4 to 7 for your first show. That weight class. Put that weight in there for that item packaged up like you're going to sell one item to one person. Okay? If you sell 2 items, then that weight class is going to take the 4 to 7 on the first item and you're going to run it. And Whatnot's going to, the weight for 4, 5, 6, or 7 in that category costs the same to the buyer. It's going to calculate 7 ounces because it doesn't know if it's 4, 5, 6, or 7 ounces, right? So then you sell another item in the 4 to 7 ounce. So now you're at 14 ounces. All the buyer has to do is buy one more item and they got free shipping. So they pay for 1 pound at $9.21. They get pound 2, pound 3, pound 4, and pound 5 for free. Okay. And it will auto bundle all of that together based on the cheapest rate to that buyer, depending where you live and where they live. Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, people don't play by the rules and they just tell you stuff uh, to get your money, to get your tips. It's pretty much. I've been shipping for like 20 years. Shipping one item to one person is easy. It's easy, as long as you pack it good and everything, because they're going to come back to you. If you don't, you just toss it in a box and it breaks. You just lost that customer, and Whatnot probably lost that buyer too, or whatever platform you're selling on. When I was new, this is where I learned. Yeah, and I look, everybody has their own style, their own way of teaching. For me, I just feel like I'm going to teach you guys the way I would pack my stuff and the way I would ship it. And that's the way. And I've sold over 10,000 items on Whatnot. Okay. I bundled so many items in the beginning because I didn't really care about 1,000 sales. I wasn't going to sell you 1,000 stickers. I literally was, I've literally shipped a ton of glass. A ton. Yeah. I don't really care for shipping glass anymore. I'm not going to lie. I like some things, but it's extra money. It's a lot of bubble wrap. Oh my gosh, it's a lot of money, right? Sassy Vintage Chick, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Oh, thank you, Rosalind. Thank you. So for someone who doesn't know the rule breakers, do those people just ship one item at 921? Sometimes those sellers have an item, and I bought an item like this. Let's see. I'll just give you an example. Let me find something that's not. Okay, so say for example, and I've seen sellers do this. Maybe they're new and they're afraid they don't want to buy any boxes. So it's kind of like this for me. Hold on, let me tag Sassy. How was your show? Oh, you're doing a preview, right, Sassy? Okay, so I have this item right here. This item packaged it's kind of a little heavy. It's probably, hold on. Yeah. So this item right here with the box is 8 to 11 because it's like 7. So when I put it in a box, it's going to be 8 to 11. The person was running it, not this item. I'm just going to use it for example. So in my head, I'm looking at it going, oh, it looks 4 to 7 on camera, right? So the buyer's going to see whatever that price is down there. Here, I'll just pin, let me see if I can pin, I'll pin this item actually. So you can see the shipping on it, okay? Oh, it's actually there. Okay, how much does it say it's going to cost you guys? And thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, 509, $1.35. So Vintage Vixen bought something, that's why her shipping is cheap. Okay, let me fix this. Oh, you want to see your guy up there. Okay. So you see how it ranges? It all depends what zone they live in. So I'm in California. Somebody that might be 509 might be on the East Coast. It just completely depends. So this item was being ran at this price. How much is this item? Okay, you're 509, so Florida all the way. Yeah, that's what I figured based on the rate. Okay, we're getting closer to a pound, aren't we? So they were running this particular item at 1 pound because they didn't want to buy a box. So they used the cube from Priority Mail, which is free. I just got overcharged for shipping on this item. I don't want to do that to a buyer. I want to put as close as I can for this item to ship in a box. And yes, it might be a pound, an ounce or 2 ounces extra. In the long term of it, it's not that much, right? So you can set up a custom ship profile for that particular item, but you want to have a little leeway because you don't know packing paper, bubble wrap, what I'm going to use to make that box as light as possible. Okay, so I paid a pound rate of 9.21 for the item. I this should have been 4 to 7 or 8 to 11 actually. And it would have calculated 11 ounces and I would have been forced to buy another item to bring it up over a pound. I would have bought more stuff. I would have bought more stuff. Instead, I overcharged. I didn't. I'm using me for the example. I overcharged my buyer. They could have got 2 items for a pound and they would have spent more money with me. Hands down, 100%. How many of you would rather, how many of you, here, let's do a poll. The polls are better to do this with. Let's do seller tools, add a poll. All right, here, pretty basic. Do you like to overpay for shipping? I'm going to say everybody's going to say no. And there's always going to be one to be say yes. Yeah, but that's okay. Hey Don, how are you doing? If you sell an item 1 to 3 ounce after 1.3 ounce after packing and it weighing everything in the box comes up 2.1 on the scale, what do you put it in this system? It can go 1 to 3 if it's 2.1 in a box. Yep. I have some small boxes. They are 6 by 4 by 2. They literally go 3 ounce. They're 1 to 3 category. And they're like little wades and stuff in it. I've shipped like 2 or 3 in there because they don't weigh very much. And the box is like half probably like maybe 1 ounce. The other item's like 2. Yeah. The post office just doesn't like those real small boxes. So if you have a 4 by 4 by 4 box, I used to use those. I do not use those boxes anymore because a lot of times if you have the label going on the top and the sides, it doesn't really fit it. They tip over when they're on the conveyor belt to be scanned because sometimes they don't scan right at the post office. I always change the weight every single time, 1000%. When I don't change the weight is when I'm shipping a sports card and I've already have it set up in there correctly. Here's the thing, I like to work smarter, not harder. I don't want to have to change the weight after. So I literally have the weight set up ahead of time. There are times when someone buys 30 items, you got to weigh it, you got to double check it. You might have to make an adjustment. Like, for example, when I package something up and it's 3 pounds that they bought, guess what? They're done shopping, the show is over. I have 2 pounds that I can use for the packaging to make that right. Okay, there's the balloons. I get that sometimes on Apple. YouTube only sees it. Okay, do you understand that? So say, for example, because of Whatnot has it set up, 5 pounds is 80 ounces. 5 pounds is 80 ounces. So de-archivist, myself, I go shop with myself and I buy an item that is 40 ounces. I have 40 ounces as a seller to pack it right. So say she buys a couple of pieces of glass. I'm going to double box those. So there's a pound right there. I might as well utilize that weight. So then when it comes time, the default and whatnot is 12 by 12 by 12, right? I'm not using that box. I'm going to use a 12 by 12.25 by 8.25 or whatever it is. But now I'm not going to utilize the whole 5 pounds because she got 3 pounds. But I'm going to make sure I add that extra weight in there. So I'm going to go and I'm going to hit the pencil when you go to edit the label under shipments after your show. I'm going to hit the pencil and I'm going to look, okay, my box size 12 by 12 by 12. I'm going to change it to the 12 by 12.25 by 8.25, I think it is. And then I'm going to change my weight. Now I'm going to pay real close attention to this because it's going to be in ounces. And then as soon as I switch it, as long as it's still under that 80 ounces, it's going to stay the same price. I just changed the box size. The faster you get at this and doing this as a good business practice, it doesn't take that much time. Anybody that says it takes too much time that has 5,000 packages, most of the time they probably have someone helping them do it. I would want to have my employee do it right. Yeah, I don't want no chargebacks and I don't want my buyer having to pay more money. So it needs to be correct. So when I'm packing that up, I have a scale right there. And then up on my shipping station, I have the reader that shows the weight. I also have a scale right here. I always just make sure. So I look at it, double check it. That's packaged up. Especially when someone buys a whole bunch of stuff, I'm going to double check it. Even though I've done all the work ahead of time by listing it in the correct category, including the weight for the package on the item, right? You guys with me so far, right? So then when I change it, I like to change it. I asked Whatnot. I had a meeting with Whatnot not that long ago. And I asked them, I hear people saying that they don't change the 12 by 12 by 12. Do we need to change the 12 by 12? They said yes. They said yes. They used to say you didn't have to, but now I think with the way shipping is, it's better to change it. It also changes the weight class, I believe, on the boxes. But if I happen to have that box and it was 16 by 12 by 14, it would have showed me a change in the price. I would have had to pay out of pocket or use one of my adjustments, which it's my fault. I shouldn't have to use an adjustment. I barely ever use the adjustments. They're there. It's awesome. They are going to go away one day. Yep, they are going to go away one day. So get your shipping done right. It's like get your house in order, you know? It's kind of the same thing with your biz. What's up, Vio Pelzer? How you doing? Okay, let me look real quick. Oh, yeah, so you adjust. So when you list your items individually, make sure you imagine how much weight. So I have a rule of thumb when I have a vase, right? I have vases. I used to sell a lot of vases. And it would be like 10, 9, 10, 11 ounces. When I would run that item, I would package it up. You know how much, guess how much that 10-ounce item would weigh after I packaged it right? Take a guess. Angie, I always change the box size. I would recommend doing it. No idea. It's okay. It's like double the weight. It's double the weight. It's a pound and a half or more. But I pack really good. Yeah, I'm a crazy packer. Yeah, it doubles the weight because the box is about 6, 7 ounces. Living Bliss Vintage. What's up? Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. You can't take yourself, so I'll take you. I hope you guys learned all about shipping over there. I hope you learned all the things. Thank you. What's up, friend? Quintessential. Hello. What's going on, friends? How are you doing? Welcome into Coffee Talk. I hope you have some coffee. We're talking right now about shipping. Yeah, all of the things. It was a lot. Don't worry, I'm talking about box size right now. You're very welcome. Ooh, coffee and chocolate. You might get wine. I would too. I mean, it's wine 30 somewhere. It's 10:30. Perfect. It's wine 30. Okay, let me go back to the thing. Thank you very much, Live in Bliss. Okay, do you like to overpay for shipping? I put a poll up here. Uh, 3 people said yes, so that's okay. And 93% said no. Figures. Should I tell them what you said? Living Bliss said she does. So when she comes in here, she'll run everything at 2 pounds. I'm kidding. Um, okay, let me go back. Thank you for the raid. I hope you had a really good show. And I know you guys learned an awful lot. If you guys didn't know, Living Bliss and I are partnering. We are going to do shipping school. It is going to be like a VIP kind of shipping school, a one-on-one or 8-on-1. I'm not buying anyway. Well, that's true. But you never know. You never know what you might buy on whatnot. Um, we are doing shipping school. It's going to be more like a 8-on-1. We're going to have 8 people, and then both of us are going to be co-hosting in a private stream. Now, you guys can get this information from Whatnot. You can get it from Google, but we're doing more of a coaching, and we're going to really help you understand shipping so you don't have any headaches and how to unbundle, bundle, all the things. Yep. And that's a totally other show, but I want to let you guys know about that. That's separate from my one-on-one that I do, and her and I are just nailing down all the. We're gonna have like a agenda and everything. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going back to what I was asked. Why do sellers run items but ship in a different way? Meaning, run a card magazine but ship in a penny sleeve, like for sports cards. So this is my biggest pet peeve. Okay, let's talk about it. Uh, let's see if I have some top loaders. Of course I do. Of course I do. Hold on. Of course I do. Of course, I have a lot of cards. Okay. So some sellers like to take and sell packs of cards, right? Yeah. No, that's a whole other show. So I have some in the buy now. So I have these basketball. There's 5 cards in a pack. Technically, this should not ship PWE. I think I have it as ground advantage. Okay. Yeah, I know. So I would ship this PWE, but I might take a card, a single card. Let's just grab one of these. It's like a Squishmallow card. And I run it, but that person buys one card. And this card sells for like $1, $2, right? PW is plain white envelope. Okay. When you're finished selling this, if your person buys, one card or they buy 20 cards or the bid goes up $20, you'll automatically, if this card goes for $20, which there's no value at 20, it's going to automatically take the plain white envelope label, which has 0 tracking, and push it to a ground advantage label. Okay. Then there's tracking. And it's insured, by the way, up to $100. Did you guys know that? Now, a seller might take a penny sleeve, which is a piece of plastic. Okay. There's no support at all. There's no support. Okay. I'm probably not going to use that one. So I'm going to take the penny sleeve because sometimes I ship them like this and they're fine. Okay. And this card is a little bit on the thick side, but it's paper. So we're going to take that. We're going to grab an envelope for it, which is, you don't have to use white. You don't have to use white. Okay. I'm going to take the packing list and I'm going to fold it over and I'm going to put it in this envelope. I've seen people do the greeting cards, those small envelopes like this, and shrink down their labels. You can do that too. It actually adds a lot more support. And I could ship it like that. But now, let's see if I have any of those cards in here. Now I sold this really good. I don't know if this is a really good card. I don't think it is. But he's kind of popular right now. Okay, a Kels card, Travis Kelce. It's in a top loader. That top loader is too rigid to go in a PWE, plain white envelope. The whole idea behind PWE is for it to be less than a 1/4 inch thick and not be rigid. Same rule applies with your gift cards. Too rigid. Okay. If this goes in the machine, yeah, the card will be protected. But there's a chance this is going to get caught and rip apart like this. Okay. Now it's going to come in the package. Oh, whoops. The card just fell out. You're going to get an empty envelope. Okay. You're going to get an empty envelope. Yeah. I had to be very dramatic right there. Whoops. So don't use these. If you're going to run a good card, say this card is $30. I'm going to automatically have it in the card category, but I'm going to have it at the correct weight. So it might go in a little box. Do you want to see what my little box is going to be? I'll show you. Yeah, let's be dramatic. Do I have any boxes in here? Oh, yeah, we do. I have a couple of boxes in here, so hang on. I like you guys to see it so you know and understand. So I use, if I have a dollar, you know, a good card, and it's not going to go like over a pound, I'm going to invest in a little 20-cent box. I think these boxes cost me 15 cents. But I also buy a lot of them. And it took a few seconds. And now look at my presentation for the card. Oh, wait, let me pack it. Okay. Let me pack it. Hey, congratulations. You just got your card. Okay. Probably don't want to pack it that way. Yeah, I love these boxes. They're 6 by 4 by 2. I never pack it that way. It always has paper in it. The card is always flat in the bottom, and then paper, and then packing lists on the top. So this will go Ground Advantage and have tracking. I will tape the side of it. I don't pack that way, but I'm just giving you like an example. The label will go on the top, so I'll have the buyer's address. The barcode will be on top. It will not wrap around. These do not tip over as easy as a 4 by 4 by 4. But it's up to you. But I could take, say somebody shops with me and they buy a whole bunch of packs. They buy a whole bunch of packs. I also do have packs in my bike now. Okay. I have like several different Hello Kitty, Sanrio. Say somebody shops with me and they buy a whole bunch of packs. Guess what? I can put them all in the box. Okay. And then do the right kind of packaging so it ensures that they get there smooth and safe. And then they're, you know, half a pound. If they happen to buy cards from me and they're over a pound, I'm probably the craziest card packer that exists on Whatnot. Because I'd probably double box the cards. This would go in a priority mail, or I'd have several of them in a priority mail, especially if they're high value. Yeah, because I want the buyer to have an experience, and I want to provide 100% positive buyer experience for you. Okay, and if you bought from me, you know how I pack. If you haven't, go read my reviews. I actually put those boxes, I think, on my website, darchivist.com, and it shows you some product suggestions there under products. You have a shipping pillow machine? Isn't that the best? I have a bubble wrap machine, actually. It is the best. I need to do a demo one day. Yeah, it's worth the money. Bubble wrap. I know, packaging. I can't drop a link here. You're not allowed to do that on Whatnot. But I can drop a link on my. What's up, Andy? How are you doing? But you guys can check out my website because it has a ton of information, but it has a lot of Whatnot stuff. And I'm actually going to launch a section with tons of Whatnot information. Yeah, that one's almost done now. Yeah, these boxes are really great. You can look them up, go 6 by 6 times 6x 4x 2, okay? That's the size of the box. These I get from a local box manufacturer that actually makes them for me. And I was going to have them print a DArchivist logo on it. I actually might do that still. But I think I just bought 1,000 of them. Yeah, and it makes no sense for me to ship them on here. They don't actually fit um, in the priority mail box. A local person, a local. So if you guys want to find your own boxes and you can afford to buy 500 or 1,000 of the boxes, try locally. Box manufacturer, corrugated manufacturer. Look that up in your area. You'll be surprised. Sometimes they actually have bad print jobs and they have an overrun. They always overrun like 10-20% of their job depending on the quantity. And that's how I got these. So these are always ran for another company, but maybe the corners don't meet. The glue is in the wrong spot. There's too much of a gap right here. Clients, when they get them in, like this one has a tiny gap. I can put tape on it and fix it. The last time I got 8 by 6 by 4 inch boxes, I paid 10 cents a box. Okay, big whoop. I had to buy 500 or 1,500 boxes. I went through them, they're gone. Yep. Yeah, these would be good for jewelry. Also, the plain white envelopes. Understand this. Let me see if I have my little mock-up one I made. When you're done packaging up, actually, I don't know if it's here anymore. Please hold. I made a mock-up label. I don't know if I have it in here anymore. Oh, I guess not. I guess I don't have it over here. That's okay. What it was an envelope. Yeah, I don't use it. for paper. It should not be thick as a quarter of an inch. Do not put jewelry in it. Do not put anything super hard. Yeah. I'm not giving out the name to the box place because it's local to me. Yeah, it's a corrugated box manufacturer. Just Google it. Yeah. You're not. This is the right place. Yeah. What's up, Trish? I once got marbles in a PWE. Okay. Okay. This is what I just recently got in a PWE. Not these, but I got some other ones. I sold the other ones already. Okay. That cannot go PWE, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you get this, sometimes it's going to slip through the post office and they're going to get the package. But sometimes it doesn't make it through. Yeah. You want to know what's in here? This is what was in my PWE. Also, it was a bubble mailer. Bubble mailer becomes a package. Don't ship that way. Okay, because if it was a regular buyer and the post office caught that, I would probably have to pay between $2 and $5 for the package, or I wouldn't get it. This is what was in it for PWE, people. PWE is the same for every single selling platform, every single one. Okay, so don't do that. Don't put your jewelry, don't put a box. You have to make a package. So you're not only cheating the system, you're cheating whatnot, you're also cheating your buyer. If you want your buyer back, have integrity, ship the right way. Yes, it may be 1 ounce to 3 ounce, but you can't use it for PWE. So don't put it in the sports card category to give them cheaper shipping. It's every platform. Yeah. Here's what'll happen if you don't. This is gonna go to them. This is not a plain white envelope, right? This is a bubble mailer. And this bubble mailer, you can't do it. You could get Pokemon cards in a PWE as long as they are, a pack of cards. I do these all the time. That's thin. I can put that in an envelope even with a packing list or without. You can do that. But maybe 2 packs? I couldn't ship. I always say 2 to 3 cards for PWE. I'm sorry, but if you do it right, I also actually use chipboard, which has been approved by my post office. Now, if I'm doing a pack, I could cut it. Let's pack a PWE right now. Let me show you how I pack a PWE. I just did this like last week. I don't have my other setup, so I can't. But so here's a pack of Pokemon cards. No, you cannot use any bubble mailers for PWE. Okay? Okay. And don't do this. Don't put cardboard on the card to protect it. It's now a package. And for the love of God, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't cut up a brand new bubble mailer and stick it in an envelope and call it a day. No. If it's shipping PWE. So if you go to, on my website, I do have a link to USPS. There's a template. I don't even know. Is my template here? Is my template here? Let's see. I think I put it in my. Oh wait, I do have my template. Hold on, hold on. We're gonna do some packing on a PWE right now. Okay, yeah. So you can get this for free on the Googles. Okay, do you see what it is? This is a letter size mail dimensional standard template, which tells you what the size of a PWE can be. Okay, so the maximum size is 6 1/8 of an inch on the height, and the length of it is 11 1/2 inches. Okay, the minimum length is 5 inches and the minimum height is 3.5 inches. 3 by 5 is a great envelope for the PWE. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. So no, 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 no to bubble mailers. You can use an envelope. This is a 6 by 8. Okay, it has the peel stick, so I don't have to lick a dang thing. Or you can use, yeah, you can't put anything that bundles that's thick. So here's the cardboard. It's not cardboard, it's chipboard. So it's flexible. It's like cereal box. Okay, maybe it's a tiny bit thicker. It's a 20 point, I think. I can take the Pokemon card or I could take like a single card. Let's see. I could take the Pokemon pack, okay? I I've shipped so many Pokemon, they're fine. I don't really need to put that. So I put that in the back of it. I take my packing list, which I don't have any packing lists printed out right now, and I take my envelope. Okay. I literally put it in there like that to give it a little bit. I usually wrap the packing list around it so I don't need the little cardboard, but look at, okay. It's literally under a quarter. It looks thick because of the pack. And then I am going to take it and I'm going to write. And then I'm going to take my label actually and I'm going to put it on the back of it. Yeah, in bundles, it's definitely too thick. Okay. Now I usually don't put the chipboard on the back. So let's take it out because that would be for a single card and it wouldn't be as thick because there's 3 cards in here. See? You can't really see it, but it's pretty thin. Okay. It's pretty thin. See? It's just got air in it. That's pretty much how you properly do that. Now, when you're putting your address label, it doesn't fit. So a little bit hangs off. Don't fold it up. Cut it off. Cut it off. It also will help seal the envelope a little bit better. And this won't get stuck in the machine. Now, say, for example, you have an envelope that's this size, 6 by 8, and it has a little clasp or a metal clip on it, right? You can't use those envelopes on PWE because when they get fed through the machine for sorting, they get stuck. So you have to take those off or use totally different ones. Okay, but those are the sizes. You can get that template. I have it on my website, darchivist.com, and you could go to USP, you could type in Google uh, plain white envelope template, USPS template or something like that. It'll come up. That's pretty much PWE. Now you can pack cards in the bubble mailer, okay? But I'm going to tell you, if you drop cards in a bubble mailer without any kind of support, it's going to get damaged. So that's where cardboard, not chipboard, come in handy. And then this is Ground Advantage. Okay. So I personally want to make sure my buyers' cards show up and they show up the way I'm selling them, not damaged or anything like that. Everybody packs different. Everybody packs different. But, you know, once I have a system in place, okay, so I'm selling my own, I have my own trading card, right? I'm going to make sure I ensure that the buyer gets the card safely. Okay. If it takes me an extra minute, big whoop. I would want that for me. Not everybody does that. Like I just got some cards that were in a box. They were great. Yeah. So I hope that helps you guys with the PWE. But definitely know that you can't use a bubble mailer. You also can't ship. Let me tell you. Okay. What do you guys write in the chat right now? What do you think you can ship in a plain white envelope? Let me hear it. No judgment. I'm just going to try to help you so you understand better. I got a diamond heart D. Can I put it? Can I put it? Can I put it in a PWE? My big diamond heart? No, don't put any jewelry in it. I don't care how little it is. I saw somebody that said they got a chart, a heart, a chart, and they put it in a PWE, and it had a little. It was a key, like a charm, and it was a heart, and then it had a little loop on it. And guess what? The loop got bent and damaged, and it ripped out of the package. Magazines cannot go in PWE because they're probably too thick. And the size of the magazine is bigger than the PWE allows. Also, the weight of that is most likely going to be bigger than more than 3 ounces. And it could go media mail as long as there's no advertising in the magazine. Most likely it can't go PWE. It will go, uh, ground advantage because it's probably going to be more along you'd be surprised how much paper weighs. So it could be 8 to 11 ounces. Some magazines are actually like a pound. And then in that case, you have to figure out what kind of show you want to do. If you're doing magazines or books, you probably want to look more like converting that from regular ground. If it doesn't pick media mail can't ship media mail if it has advertising in it. Yep, it can't. It has to be like an educational piece. But if you're selling that kind of stuff, you need to do the research. No, magazines can fit in envelopes. It can't go in plain white envelope. If it's a magazine publication for PWE and it's less than 11 and a half inches in length, I don't know what magazine, this would be like some comic book maybe that you could do, but 6 1/8 of an inch on the height. That's not very big, guys. That's not very big. It's where this line and this line meet all the way around. Okay, it's not very big. The envelope is a 9 by 12 usually. Yep. So I would say I just actually mailed some documents in a 9 by 12 and it was over a pound and it was 20 pages. So a magazine's gonna probably be about that. It just depends. You got a metal bag charm and a PWE. Yeah. Cards, stickers, small paper, anything, anything thickness of a 3-ish page letter folded. Yeah, pretty much. Art, small art cards, poetry, stories, paper, 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 paper. That's right. You guys see the pattern here? Paper. You had a seller ship me a loose Hot Wheels car in a small envelope. I received it empty with a hole in one end. That sucks. The car made its way out. It broke away. Yeah, a car should be in, depending on the car, it should be in a bubble mailer. I can ship them all day long in a bubble mailer, right? And then when you do your bubble mailers, sometimes they have that little flap that folds over. I would put the card in there. I'd probably put a little tissue around. That's just me, even though it's a bubble mailer. And then the flap comes down. I would put my shipping label right on top of that, so it helps seal it in. Okay, and you don't have to put tape over your shipping labels. Okay, yeah, ephemera stickers, ephemera. Yeah, like I said, we all ship differently. Don't put face masks in there. I've bought face masks not realizing it's PWE because I didn't see the shipping, and I got it. Half the time the face masks, unless they're super thin, I've gotten some flat ones that are just fine. It's the ones that are like under eye and they have like some special thing in it. I got one where one was just fine and the second one was completely crushed. Yeah. We wrote letters. Think of it like that. Yeah, Vintage Vixen. Think of it like that. I'm going to write a love letter. PWE is a love letter to your customers, okay? So don't misuse it because you don't want to send them a photo. Say they buy 3 photographs, they're small photos. You can do PWE. They just paid, $1.50 for the shipping because it's 0 to 1 or 1 to 3 is going to be 78. I think it's 78 cents and then like a dollar. I don't know what I just paid for the last ones. I don't look at it. Yeah, I think it's $1.35, $1.40, $1.40. Okay, basically. Yeah, so just think of it like that, right? Because you want them to come back. So go to Walmart. They sell those 100 box envelopes. I think they're $4 or $5. And then the bigger ones maybe are 4 or 5. They had a special. They were like $2 one day. I bought a bunch of them because they were cheaper than buying them from like Office Depot. And I've already blew through all of them. I think I had 1,000 of those envelopes. And I bought some on a different platform like the Amazon because that's pretty much a good supply house for that stuff. But the prices have gone up a lot actually. And the envelope size is, I don't know, it's just a standard. Let's see, what size is it? Yeah, it's just a standard. So remember, PWE is for card category, right? Single sports cards, maybe 2 or 3. That's pushing it because those 2 or 3 are going to strengthen it up a little bit. I wrap a packing list around it and I tape it. I never use a top loader in an envelope. I don't. I don't. But most of the time when I've done sports card shows, I sell more than one card to one person. Usually I'm selling like 50 to 300 cards per person. Yeah. So they do not get PWE. There's maybe a giveaway someone wins because they just entered the giveaway to win, and they'll win like some vintage Fleer sticker or something like that. Yeah, you might as well. What do the big card sellers do when they have a $500 card? Well, automatically when they run a $500 card or it gets bid up, Whatnot has it in their system that when you first start bidding on the item, it shows the shipping, right? 78 cents. But when they trigger that card to get bid past 20, it automatically charges them what the shipping rate would be for the value. Now, say I sell a card, it goes for $500. It's only insured up to $100. It's my job as a seller to make sure I change that on the back end. Because say I ship that card out and it never arrives and it shows delivered. It's delivered, I'm good, it's been delivered. But say it doesn't get delivered and it's stuck somewhere and it got damaged because I didn't pack it right or I didn't ship it properly and it gets completely ripped up. Guess what? It's covered for 100, but guess who's paying the other $400? Not Whatnot, me. Hello, Miss Vivian, how you doing? Me. So it doesn't cost that much to insure it. If you have a $500 card, you definitely want to insure it and you want to require a signature for it, an adult signature. So you got to pay an extra $6 or $7, maybe $8. Worth it every time. Yeah, so on the back end, what I'm talking about is say I have a show and I have a shipping label I have to create because it can't ship without a shipping label, right? So the back end is your seller hub. So on the seller hub, I'm going to go in the seller hub right now. I can't share it to the stream because it has people's personal info. When I go into, and you must look at the seller hub on the desktop. I think it's the best way. I highly recommend do not print your labels on the phone. Don't do it. Because if you have to make an adjustment in the Whatnot app, you cannot make an adjustment on the app. You can only generate a label. Okay? So go into your seller hub on the browser. So you can use your phone. You just have to log into whatnot.com on your Google Chrome browser is probably the best one. It works pretty well with it. So like right now when I go and I would go to shipments, or once I logged in and I go to seller hub, I'm going to see my portal. So it's going to say, hello, the Insomniac Club. And it's going to show my shows. And then to the right, it's going to say account health and it's going to have all the Whatnot tutorials. And then below that, it's going to say customer support because I'm in the beta program for returns and exchanges. I don't have any of that. But below that, it says shipping. Needs label, 1 due in 2 days, ready to ship. So I have like 4 items from last night, 4 orders from last night, or 4 tickets. They're already ready. I just have to take them to the post office after Coffee Talk. But now I have needs label. So I could click there, or I could go back up to shipments. Click on shipments. It's going to show me my most current show that needs to ship. So Vintage Vixen purchased a one-on-one with me. It shows the person's name, the date, how many items, the value, which is what they paid for it, the weight of it, and the dimensions. Needs label, expects to ship via USPS. So I'm not gonna generate, never hit generate first. I'm not gonna use a 12 by 12. I'm not at all. So I'm gonna hit the action. What comes up next is the box size. Okay. So sometimes I send stickers, sometimes I send different little tools just as a thank you. So like this one will be a 6 by 4 by 2. The item weight stays the same because these are, and I hit save changes. Now I can generate a label, but I usually generate after my show ends in case. Yeah. And then that's it. And then it prints it. That's the back end of it. What did that take me? 20 seconds to make a label. And imagine having 100 of these. It takes time, but I'd rather do it correctly and do a little bit slower than make a mistake along the way, right? Yeah, so the only time I print a shipping label on the app is if I'm doing a PWE giveaway, which is like Pokemon cards, or I'm selling a small package that I know already because I've sold that hundreds of times. I already know what the weight is packaged. So it's in there already. I don't have to think about it. So if I have like 10 orders from that, I'm going to do it right from my phone and it goes right there. I don't have to make adjustments. The only time I make adjustments is when I actually have to change the box size, which is every single time. So if it goes in one of these, then I'm going to do that, right? So like for example, I have like Sanrio character cards. Okay? Those are packs. These could go PWE. Let's see. What do I have those? Let's see. Do I have those in there? Let's see how much the shipping is on those. Okay, what's the shipping? $1.30 because they're 1 to 3 ounces. So 3 cards, it's gonna weigh more than one card. One card's gonna be 0 to 1. Yeah. I do that for I can't make it thicker. It just might be a little bit heavier because it has this one has 3 cards, I think, in it. Yeah. It is once you get started, it is easier. Just I my biggest advice for new sellers who are just starting out, number one is list your stuff in your shop in the auction tab. Okay. So say you start with 20 to 40 items, whatever you feel comfortable with. When you go live, make sure you have one picture at least of the item. Don't take pictures from Google because you don't want to take a picture. Don't steal people's work. That is just theft, period. Number two, take a picture of the item. Practice learning how to properly list. So you're going to take a picture of the item. Maybe it's $100 vase. Maybe it's some special Murano, Swarovski little miniature or something. You need to take a picture of it so it looks the best. So that when someone comes into your show and you run as an auction, they see every detail or imperfection. What if it's missing a piece on it? You need to like put that in there. So you title it, you write a brief but brilliant paragraph or less, because when you have a show and you run through those in an auction, your first one you're going to run 30-second auctions probably. That might take forever and you'll lose some people, but so what? It's your first show. You don't want to start running 10 second. It doesn't give you time to breathe. It doesn't give you any time to breathe. Okay? You want to make sure that if you're not writing anything down, learn how to screenshot on your phone. Okay. When it sells, when the item sells, hello, Don. When the item sells, you go, hey, Don, thank you for your purchase. You're going to get these Pokemon cards, item number one. And then you're going to set it aside. You're going to screenshot it if you can while you're holding it. Or if your description matches the picture, you don't have to do that. That's working smart, not harder. You know what? We moved the date. It was supposed to be on Wednesday, but tomorrow we're moving it. I don't have the date right now, but I will. I will definitely. I have a waiting list. If you want to be on the waiting list, I'll put you on it because it's going to be like a first come first serve based on the waiting list. You just run at that to avoid not having enough weight. Ditto on the list. Okay. Yeah, I think we have like 16 people right now. Okay, you got it. And you guys can also DM me if you want to be on it as well. Yeah, so oh, for the 139 for the cards. Okay. Let me screenshot it all. Actually, let me get rid of this poll. Let me end the poll right now. I mean, we talk about shipping all the time, so this is just more of a okay. So the winner is no. We don't like to overpay for shipping. Yes. Okay. I got y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on 1 second. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so once you get started, 20, 30, 40, even 40 items, take a picture, list it, right? I made a video on YouTube, my same name right here on YouTube. It's a step by step. It's called Seller Hub. It's under the video tab. Inventory. It will change you. If you list on desktop, this is the trick. You can duplicate your listings. So for example, say I have 10 different Murano vases. I don't know why I'm using Murano today, but make sure it's Murano and you're not just getting it from like Marshalls or Ross. That's not the same. Learn about that. And I have a variant, maybe 3 are blue in that. There's also the way to set up a variant and whatnot. There's a way to do buy it now and auction. So if I create an auction for Squishmallow cards, right? And I just want to put them in there for like $2 or whatever. And I have, a bunch of different ones, right? I'm I may not want to take a picture of it. I may show a bunch of them and say, seller's choice, you will get to, right? Image shown for example only. But I actually took a picture of it instead of taking pictures of each one, and it's just like a random thing, right? Okay. So that's the biggest thing I recommend. And then when you actually have the show and you're ready, make sure you have the right weights and you put them in the right category. You can sell vintage decor as long as most of your items are vintage items. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, I pick estate sale category. I switch from vintage because I have everything you can find in an estate sale. I mean, pretty much. And then some fun stuff that's like new because I like to do rip or ship. I was one of the OGs that did smash or save shows. Yeah, they were pretty crazy and fun. And some people get triggered. You got to try different things, right? I will be bringing those back because I have like 8 boxes full of broken stuff. Yeah, the variant option is pretty cool. It's great for, there's some things I like about it and I don't. But if you don't like it and you have 4 different ones and maybe they're priced a little different, you can do that. But the picture needs to show all of them in it and it could be confusing. So, what I like on the inventory is I can create a listing, everything matches it except the picture, right? And I can, there's a little box to check on, and then a little window pops up and allows you to add to show or it allows you to duplicate it. So I could copy that. I just got to go and I'll make a second one and I'll make it into a draft. I can copy that 10 times and then I could go in and I could take the pictures I've already taken and I can either drop them in on desktop for each one. I just have to make sure I label it smart so that when it sells, I know who got what, right? I know. I know. You're a sweetheart. I was going to bid on it, but I was being good. And I wasn't going to, it's too early for Smash because I would have smashed it. I would have smashed it. Yeah. They made so many of those, but she was in pretty cute, cute, cute. So now when you go live, just ring the bell. Yeah. So again, new sellers, you watch all these amazing sellers on this app, and there's so many that do so many different cool things, right? And they're jamming and they're running stuff. But you're also not seeing is that they might sell 3,000 items in their show, and that's your goal, and you're motivated. That's awesome. But what you're not seeing is they have 3 packing people and a whole warehouse full of employees. Okay. Don't compare yourself to other people and compare yourself to yourself yesterday. Okay, what am I going to do today that's going to, do a little bit better with it? Hey Lego, how you doing? What's going on, my friend? You have a Shanna. That's right. So a lot of us don't see that. I'm just me, myself, and I. If I need some help, my husband will help me. But I'm pretty much just me, myself, and I. So I've had shows where I've sold the most items I sold in one show was 383 items. It was 120 packages. Do you know I shipped that in 2 days? I shipped it in 2 days. I was exhausted. I also did a 22-hour stream. 22 hours on Whatnot Live with no breaks. Maybe I took one bathroom break or two. No, also the variants should all be about the same in weight. That's why I don't like the variants myself. I would rather individually list each item. My brain just works that way. hmm So, I did it all myself. And I had a whole backflow you couldn't even see. What really was the game saver is when I sold my items and I marked them, they already were labeled. I didn't really have to mark anything. So when I finished my show, I walked over here and I laid it out based on the purchase time. Yeah. So they were all in a row from start to finish. And it was a ton of vintage decor. It was pretty crazy. I sold a lot. I did. One time, 2 times. Yeah, I could fly to the East Coast and back and I'm good. Have a couple beers on the plane. Oh yeah. Yep. Yes. Love you more. Thank you, Stacy, for that tip. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Could a pop-up be done using variations? Yes, but here's the thing. Variations only works with buy it now. It doesn't work with auction. Okay? It doesn't work with auction. Let me go in there right now. I don't use it. There are a lot of people that use it. For example, say you're selling, here's a good one. Lego, you made me think of this. Say I create a product on, I should make an updated video for that too. Okay, say I create an updated product. I have my picture in there. I have it in the buy it now. Yeah, see, so if I have it in auction tab and variants can only be enabled for buy now products that do not accept offers. Variants can only be enabled for buy now products that do not accept offers. That's the trick. Please change to buy it now and disable accept offers. Okay, I have no problem not accepting. So I'm going to go buy it now. I'm going to put my price. Say it's like a $25 buy. Turn off offers, and then I'm going to pick the category. So for example, say I'm selling Legos, okay? And I'm selling blue bags of Legos, 1 pound bags of Legos. Actually, I'm not selling 1 pound. I want you to buy more. So I'm selling 8 to 11 ounce Legos bags. Okay, that's the category. I have 50 blue bags, 50 red bags, 50 white. They're just assorted Lego bricks. That's how I'm going to do the variants. So they all weigh the same. Okay, I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to title it so I know. I'm going to make one. Let's see if I can make one right now. Okay. And then I'll pin it so you guys can see what it looks like. I don't have the Legos, but it's going to be an example to show. And then my quantity is 50. Actually, we'll just do 5. Okay, then the next one, but I'm going to title it so people know red. So they know they're all red. The next one's going to be that, but it's going to be white. Actually, let's do black. Okay, and then I'm going to add a row. You can, I don't know how many you could actually add. Yellow. And I'm going to make this one 25. The thing with it is, once you do it, you have to have your picture, your quantity. Now, here's what's interesting. I created the listing, right? And at the top, every time I add a new variant and a quantity changes, the quantity of the original listing increases each time. So I put the yellow bag of bricks, 90. My quantity is 90 on that. A black bag is, I have 35 of those, 8 to 11 ounce. Okay. And then I have only 5 of the red. My quantity for this listing would have 130 items. So if I published it and pinned it, people have the option to buy that. So you can do that. It's just going to not show any pictures. So you have to be smart about it. And I think it takes a little time. If you take a photo and you show all the different bags of bricks, I would definitely put on that picture, for example, only because people might see a picture of all these different bags of colored bricks and they actually might think they're getting all of those. So you have to be very clear in your description, your labeling, and your titling. Okay. And then you can drop pictures in. Okay. And again, this all takes time, right? But if you don't care and you're selling your bags for 25 bucks a bag, which is probably pretty good if it's already sorted out, right? You can put up to, let's see how many I could probably put quite a bit, maybe even 100 or two. It's just like me selling t-shirts. If I'm selling Hanes t-shirts, my variant of that is my main one is going to be the category, I don't know if there's a t-shirt, maybe t-shirt category, besides women's, contemporary, or men's. Pick the category, okay? Title, Hanes men's crew t-shirt, right? Or V-neck or whatever. You have to put that. Then the description is going to say, whatever you'd like it to say. You'll get, I'm pretty clear on mine. You'll get, and then I type out, you'll get one, ONE in all caps. And then in parentheses, I'm going to put one, the number, bag of, um, I can put assorted colors, you'll get one bag of Legos, genuine Legos, right? Okay. Choose the color you want to buy. Okay. Now that's just a basic listing. And then there's going to be drop down options. Um, each bag weighs approx 8 to 11 ounces. All bricks are clean, period. Okay. They've been washed. Um, then I'm going to pick my weight, right? 8 to 11 ounces. We're going to put one up. Don't anybody buy on it. You'll have to cancel it. I'm just going to put the quantities low. We're just going to test it out. Okay, now I just need to, I don't think I have any Lego pictures. So I'm going to make something up real quick because I don't like to take anything from the Google. Now, say for example, I have, okay, I can't use that picture, but I have a picture I'll just find. For example purposes, I'm just going to put a, I don't think I have anything Lego in here. Oh, yeah, I do. I mean, it takes time, right? But once you get some down, I'm just going to use a generic picture of Bitty Pups, but just imagine it's like a Lego pick. We're only doing, this is a test. So the category is going to be Lego, and I'll do other Lego, right? And then my title is going to be pick, pick your color. Okay. Lego loose bags. And I'm going to label 8 to 11 ounces so people know what they're getting. I never want it to be wrong. Pick your color, all genuine. Test. I'm calling it test. Do not buy. Okay. We're going to test it and then I'm going to deactivate it. Okay. Type, theme, set number, number of parts. You can fill that out. Condition is the most important. So I'm going to put poor condition just for this. Okay. And then custom. So now I have 3 different variants of the Lego bricks. Okay. Um, I'm going to put a huge quantity in there. I'm going to publish it. Oh, it said I can't do more than 5,000 items. I had like 12,000. Okay. So I have to go down and fix it. I got excited. Yeah, and you want to make sure you label it good. And then if you say, for example, I have 3 lines, so I only have 3 colors, red, black, and yellow available. Okay. If you have another row, you hit the plus sign and add the other row. But if you have nothing in that row, delete it. Just leave the 3 there. Okay. So now I have that set. Actually, let's add a couple more. I got to fix my quantity because I can't have, I guess I can't have over 1,000. So I'll put 992. Oh, it has to be 1,000 maximum. Well, what? Okay. It's not letting me do it. Let me publish it. Okay, there it goes. So I have 769. It's listed right now. So let me find the Lego. I'm going to put it in the show and then I'm going to pin it. It's pretty simple to actually do. I'll do a variant. Okay. This is a test. I'm going to add it to this show. Did it do it? Did it do it? No. Okay. I have to feature it in this show. Feature it in this show. This is all in my inventory video if you guys do it. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to use a Lego pick. I'm just going to literally just use a test. This is a test. Thank you. This is a test. Do not buy this. Here's the item. Okay, I'm going to pin it. What are the options that it shows you? Do you see this view quantity? Okay, you click on it. Now it shows you Lego 8 to 11 Mega Bricks, red, black. So if they click on the one they want, it should allow them to buy it. Don't buy it, but I'm just showing you guys. This is only a test. Yeah, definitely don't. If you buy it, you have to cancel it. Okay, but don't. Because I won't be shipping that. Yeah, I do have Legos though. Maybe I'll bag some up. Tell you what, I'll make a variant and I'll put the Legos in with one picture. I have like 10 pounds of Legos. Yeah, I'll do that. It'll be assorted bags, and then we'll do it. I'll try to bag them up. Maybe I'll just make small bags. But you see how that works? You guys can see each different one and then the option to probably buy it. As a as a seller, I can't see what you guys see. It's a tiny bit different. Okay. It's a tiny bit different, but it gives you the idea. So that didn't take super long, but you also want to be very smart in your labeling. Okay. You need to make it not complicated, just very simple. Like, look at my description. My description was very easy. You'll get 1 bag of genuine Legos. Okay. If they're not genuine, don't call them genuine unless you've gone through each one, right? Because you never want your buyer to buy something from you and you claim it's genuine. They get it and it's like, brick blocks or whatever the heck those other brands are. Yeah. A separate picture is helpful, but you're going to have to put some text on that picture and use one of your apps to let you put text. Again, that's more time. You could also label it to say, a red brick, and then in the picture put A, B, C, D, and then label the variants that way so they know. So then maybe you have more than one image. Image 1 is the whole group of them, Image 2 might be the first item. Blue bricks. They get to see exactly what they're getting. C, D, you kind of get the point of it. What does Reserve for Live do? It is in that video. It basically, Reserve for Live means that when you're selling items in your buy it now and or your auction tab, and you want them to be reserved, they're only for your show. They're not in the marketplace. So if you do that, it's only going to be in your show. So if you're like, why isn't my stuff in the marketplace? Because you've reserved it for your show. So to undo that, I'm also going to delete this item. Let's see if it goes out right now. I'm going to take it out. Thank you for letting me show you guys that. And just like that, it's not going away. There it goes. It's gone. It takes a minute sometimes. Oh no, I'll use my own pictures, but thank you for sending that. I appreciate it. I'm like, as a photographer, I can never use anybody else's picture. It's really very hard for me to do that. I have to take the picture of it. Yeah. No, no problem. But that's what Reserve for Live is. Then if I click on the item, yeah, now I just have to. If I tell people not to steal pictures and then I go take pictures, that's like making me a hypocrite. So like my picture, I have a Lego Speed Champion set. It's a Ferrari, right? It's boxed, brand new. There's an option when you're on, I like to list on desktop. I just feel like it's faster because I type fast. So I have it priced in the bite now. I could switch it to auction. I could do flash sale. I could accept offers. I could reserve for the live. So if I turn it on, I'm going to pick a show. And it's only available for purchase during the shows I select. I never want that option, to be honest. Unless I'm doing a raid train, I'll turn it on, right? And then I have to clone it later. But I never really want to do that. I don't want to limit my views. I want to make sure it gets in the marketplace and people can buy it. Yeah, so definitely want to do that. Yeah, not a problem. Watch the video. There's some stuff in there. I'm going to actually redo that video because I'll make a video on variants. I haven't done that yet. Um oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That was very nice of you. You missed the beginning. How did you add that to your shop? Just in the buy it now, how did you add a variant? I just added it on the desktop. Can I add it to the No, you can't add it in your show because what happens is when you click on create a quality listing, it literally opens up the inventory on the desktop. So I personally like to list on desktop. That's just me. I have more space. I have a monitor. I'm looking at something this small. If I go on whatnot.com and I open up, I have a 27-inch monitor in front of me and I could zoom in and be like, what did I put there? I productive wise, 100 times faster for me. Yeah. Now, what if I just list on desktop and I don't have pictures? Easy. They're all drafts. I can't publish them until I have a picture because they need everything for quality listing. So then I get my phone out. I just start taking pictures. I don't even save it on my thing. Yeah, I feel like you could list on your phone 100%. But I feel like for me that's my workflow right now that I'm using and it's just better for me. I don't really care for the app on my phone. Like right now I'm live streaming from my desktop and I'm recording the chat. So on YouTube, it's there for replay and you can see it as it happens. And then on my phone, after this multicast over to YouTube, you will not see the chat. So I have those all on replay, but they're only going to be replayed for a little bit of time because on YouTube I'm making a members only through subscription for those past shows. But for now they're public. But they will eventually be in there. And then on Whatnot, if you purchase something in a show and you want to watch a replay because you don't care about going to YouTube, you can buy anything in the Buy It Now and you'll have a replay for up to 45 or 60 days. Yeah, you're so welcome. What are your thoughts on selling items that are not your primary category? You have a lot of other, what are you waiting for? Do it. Do it. Drop them in the buy it now. Sell those items. Just remember what category you sell in. Have at least 80-90% of your goods for that category. So, for example, vintage decor. I have like 70% of my stuff is vintage decor. You mean a show? Try different categories. See what happens. You can still have your bin loaded with every category. Well, that you need to change it. Change it, Lego. Change it. Get out there. Get out there. That's how you network. You network and whatnot. I've rated into every category you can imagine, from small sellers to big sellers. I mean, we're all sellers. We're all the same. Some of us just do different volume, different sales. Yes, for your show, you only get one category. Yeah. I think down the road, Whatnot will have it where people could probably pay to be in different categories. That's just my opinion, that I think they may do that. But like when I get promoted from Whatnot, like a boost from them for one of their seller chat shows, I get boosted in three categories. But this last month, they try different things to just see how the numbers are and where people are coming from. Sometimes I get people that come from YouTube and log in over here. Um, or they just watch over on YouTube. Like right now, let's see. Sometimes because I actually let's see. We'll go to YouTube real quick and peek. Yeah, do it. I say you do it. I mean, if you guys are not getting a lot of people in your streams, and you're expecting people to show up, you need to show up too in the community because it's not like any other. Do you have to spend 10 hours a day to network? Not at all. Just go to someone's show, comment on their stuff. You don't have to buy it. Be like, hey, you know what? I really think your setup is neat. I love it. Um, Thank you for showing that item. Just little things. When I started, I met a whole bunch of people, a whole network of people that are some of my bestest friends on the Whatnot. I live in Bus Vintage, Moon Sky, all the friends. Okay, look, so now I'm broadcasting. My multicasting never worked. See, it's a good thing that I do that. So I had two of them. Yeah, my multicasting didn't work. Let's see if it went to Facebook. Let me peek. I always like to check, and I actually didn't check. See, I didn't check, but I think no, same thing. It didn't. The multicasting feature is broken on Whatnot. I've got to report that again. Darn. Okay, we'll have to fix that. Where do you see the metrics on people coming in from YouTube? So if they join with a QR code, so when I stream and multicast, there's a QR code up here on YouTube. You don't see it on Whatnot. Whatnot has made that. They click on that because there's some tracking for that. So in Whatnot, when you want to see that, you have to go to where it says, um, hold on, let me go back in here. They move every analytics. And then you also go to, if I click on where my seller hub is, where it says refer a seller, if I click on that, it's going to take me to seller referrals. Okay. And there's a drop down seller referrals, buyer referrals. So if I click, it shows how much I've made, how many referrals, how many completed, how many followers I've gained from it. Buyer referrals, it shows, and then down below, it shows all the accounts that use the link and where they came from. So if you use a seller referral, it actually shows that it came from, where is the one that shows it? Hold on. Lego, thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate that. Lego and life advice. I love it. Okay, so for example, why isn't it showing? I guess I have to go to analytics. Hold on. There it is. If I go to analytics, it says promote tools, right, is one option. Live stream is the second one, and overall. If I click, and some reason I don't see why it doesn't say YouTube on here. It was saying it. Maybe it changed. If I click on referrals, it's sound. Oh, you know what? Golden Glam, thank you so much. That's sweet. Okay, here it is. Sorry, my bad. At the top of the referrals page, right, where it shows it, there's an overview and then there's a link lands. If you click on the link lands tab, then below it shows. So right now, as of, I don't know what the time frame is. YouTube, I've had 12 people come over. Facebook, 10. Google, 2. Twitter, 1. I don't even post on Twitter. And 5 is other, 3. So I don't know if this is in the last 60 days or all of it. Sometimes those links don't work. I appreciate you. Thank you. Selling glass soon, kind of scary with the shipping. Just get it down. Just get it down to knowing the correct weight packaged. And don't start with big giant pieces. I would start with, like I said, 4 to 7, 8 to 11 ounce items. I wouldn't start selling 1 pound items unless you're doing, and if you do a custom ship profile, I would, depend on the item and how fragile and things like that. I would make sure that anything 3.5 or so pounds to 4 is a custom shipping profile. That's just me. It just, no, you don't need special software. Thank you for your purchase. Thank you for your purchase. I appreciate those Valentine's Day cards are very cute. I always have, see, I always have stuff like that. So now you have just gotten, you found something you like, and those will send out, those send PWE, and then they go in another envelope with the 2 envelopes inside. You now can watch a replay of this stream. Yeah, since it didn't multicast. Hello. Okay. Special software to multicast. Nothing. Whatnot. I can use Whatnot to multicast, but there are rules for multicasting, which is number one, you have to have a YouTube account. You need 50 subscribers for multicasting to work. A Facebook account that has to be more than 60 days old, or a Twitch account. That's currently what Whatnot has in their multicasting built-in software. Does it always work? No. You have to authorize Whatnot to act on your behalf through the digital era here, and you basically set up your account in the when you're live, the 3 dots, and then it walks you through some steps because they want to make sure, your other accounts want to make sure, hey, who's this Whatnot person, right? They just want to make sure it's legit and that you can actually multicast. So mine didn't work today. Let's try right now. I noticed this one glitch. So when I click on multicast, you guys can't see this. I have Facebook Live active and I have YouTube. If I want to do it the first time, I want to make sure that none of them are active. Let's see if I hit apply on just Facebook. Up here is going to be like a little thing. Only I could see it. Now it says I'm live on it. So if you're going to multicast, do one at a time. Connect to one at a time. So let's do it. I'll connect to, I'll hit the multicast button again after the 3 dots. And I'm going to turn on Twitch. I don't do much on Twitch, but I still just put it there. I'm going to hit apply. Okay. Now I'm on Twitch. You have to do one at a time because there is a glitch. Now I'm going to multicast to Facebook. And I'm going to click on Facebook, turn it on. I kind of have to do one at a time, which sucks. And then I'm going to hit apply. Let's see if it pops me over to Facebook. I don't think Facebook is going to work, but we're going to test it. Okay, it says I'm live. Please check your stream on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. So I'm going to see if it goes on there. Sometimes it takes a minute, but again, I haven't always posted to Facebook. I'm live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. We're a little bit late today. I've been on live on YouTube, but now this one, thank you for checking. I'm live on YouTube under the live tab. I have 2 streams going to YouTube because I use OBS. Yeah, OBS actually will screen record Coffee Talk, and it will capture the entire screen in the chat because I've set it up a certain way. You can see it over there. If I go over there right now, you guys can't see this, but if you're on YouTube, I can change my background to be kind of like a really nice background. Hold on. And I usually actually have that. Oh, there it is. I'm a Bob Ross painting right now on YouTube. Yeah, you're welcome. Let me go see if I actually come across. But just, it's more technical stuff. Does the average user or seller on Whatnot need that? Not at all. Not at all. Dawn, you're super welcome. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, follow me on Facebook. I have 2 group. I'm actually gonna make a group on Facebook. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna be very specific about it, and I'm gonna invite a group where I'll share shipping information and stuff like that. Yep, because people sometimes have questions. And there'll be some good rules out and about. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. I hope you had a good show, my friend. Everybody give Out and About Vintage a follow. She's got all things vintage and then a lot of other fun stuff. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I have 2 Facebook pages. I have one, De-Archivist. Then I also have De-Archivist Insomniac Club. That's the one I'd rather have people follow me on. You can friend me on the De-Archivist one because that's where the live stream is. And that one's working right now. And that one also outputs a QR code from Whatnot, and it says join D_archivist on Whatnot to make your first purchase. And with your first purchase, if you're watching right now and you're brand new to Whatnot, you take a picture of that with your phone. It opens up a link. It says, "Hey, DArchivist recommended Whatnot for you." You sign up, make an account, put all your info in. It's very secure. And they give you 15 bucks off your first purchase. But wait, there's more. There's more. If you shop with me or anybody on the app, there's a chance that you can get up to $25, 25 bucks off on shipping. But let me explain it. Sometimes that works for new accounts, sometimes it doesn't. It's like a promotion. So you have to shop with the same seller to get the 25 off. So that means you could buy 2 and almost 3 5-pound packages from the person. So up to $25 off on free shipping. And that promotion was still working as of like a couple weeks ago from someone that told me they did it. So not only you get 15, you get up to 25, but you have to shop with the same person for the shipping. So say somebody comes in on the link, they use the $15, they've had to pay $8 out of pocket, right? Then what happens is maybe they got free shipping and then they decide to swipe to somebody else's show and they try to apply that free shipping. It doesn't work. Yeah, they have to shop with the one main person. Yeah, so I am you have requested Lego? Okay, hang on. Yeah, so D Archivist Insomniac Club. I post a lot of links there and information, little tips and tricks. Um, but my Facebook page, the D Archivist, will have links to videos when I come out with a new video. Okay, I will have to see that. There you are. Who's Samantha? I see you. I just added you right now. Who's Samantha? I got one from you. Because sometimes I get friend requests. I'm going to be honest. Some people I don't even know. Like we don't have mutual friends or everything. And then it's a lot of influencers. So I'm always like, all right, who is that? It's not my personal, it's my business. So I usually like let people come on in because there's like a ton of information. I'm happy to share it. All right. I got you both. Who's Lorraine? Yeah. Sometimes I got one the other day and it was like some fake profile. So I didn't want to like, bring him in, but I think you could still view the page. Yeah. Okay, so we're good there. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Lorraine, there you are. Nice to meet you both, all of you, all three of you. Yeah, so now that stream goes to YouTube. So it's working. What'll happen is if you get the multicasting going and set up, remember, with YouTube, you need 50 subscribers and an existing channel, right? So say you're like, D, I want to put it to YouTube. Make a YouTube channel. Try to use the same name. Like I got lucky. My name would isn't Vintage D Decor or Vintage Decor D, right? Or D's Vintage Decor, because vintage decor or vintage is overused. Like it's used by so many people that I want people to like find me easy. So D underscore archivist works. It's available on like all the platforms that I want it to be on. Um, wait, what? Yeah. So, anyways, you know, you have to decide for that, and it's best to figure out what name you want and search for it first before before you invest in all the time of marketing and advertising. Vintage is like a very popular search one. So, but when you go to Whatnot and you search vintage, there's probably like 100 different sellers with that name. So try to create like a single name if you can and check every platform for it. Sometimes you're not going to get it. Yeah, sometimes you're not going to get it. And sometimes some people do super long with the underscores. My name originally was one. It was D Archivist, right? Or Archivist. I say both because some people pronounce it both. But what was happening is every time I won something, they were like, Dirkivist, dear, dear. They couldn't say my name. So I'm like, how do I change it? I'll just put D underscore archivist. And then I just I stuck with it. That wasn't always my name. I usually did some like handmade stuff, so I had completely different name. Yeah, but that was like a separate business. I may bring that business name back since I have the trademark of that one. I still kept it. Yeah. Yeah, and you can only change your name on Whatnot when you have no orders out or orders in. So if you purchase something, you got to wait till that all clears. Um, Dawn, who was in here a few minutes ago, she changed her name. She changed her name. And then pick a name that's gonna pick a name that like flows with what you sell or what your business logic is and your personality, you know? Because you can sell anything. It doesn't matter really the name. You did Spooky Booty. I love it. That's awesome. You got your LLC with that. Yeah. So that way you're everywhere. So someone says, "What name are you on Instagram, D?" I'm D underscore archivist. So even if you went to Google and did D underscore archivist, all my social would come up. All my selling would come. Well, I only really sell and whatnot. All that stuff comes up, right? Even old, and you want that. You want people to find you that way. I want people to find me right here on whatnot. You're Chatty Wampus. You have such a good name. Right. It has nothing to do with selling. You made it yours. I think that's awesome. I love names like that because you kind of, it's different and you're not going to forget it. You're like, what was that person's name? Chatty something. So you look it up on whatnot. You look it up on whatnot. Let's see. Yeah. Just like Smorgasbord. There's no one, there's nobody else with that. Used to get red chatted all the time. So if I type in Chatty, there's there's 9 names that start with Chatty, but it pulled up all these other names. And who's like number 4 or 5 on that list on my browser? Chatty Wampus. Yep. There was somebody else that had a similar name, but I haven't seen it. It's not, it was something else. Yeah, see, you're on that. But there's all kinds of other people. Um, yeah. So name, multicasting. So now I use OBS. OBS isn't for the average person. Whatnot made a really great video in the Seller Hub. Okay. For people that want to do OBS. There's lots of things. I talk about it because when people ask, I want them to understand that do you need to have OBS? Not at all. Not at all. If you're running, you can do it right off your phone, your iPad, as long as you have a good internet connection. So I was rewiring all my computer stuff because I have a lot of computer crap. And now my internet speed is killer. Yeah, I replaced all my wire. I'm real techie. Tony, you want to learn it? Tony, that would be so cool. You could have it set up and you could do, I wish I could demo. I'll do a demo. Like if you guys come to my nighttime shows, you could see my OBS. I have all kinds of little fun things. Like if someone tips me, I have like a fun little like Danny DeVito that throws money out. It's like a little GIF and it just, it does an animation and people love that. Or when I get a raid, I have like a little squirrel that dances, but I don't, on this particular camera setup, I don't have it set up because each time I have like a different scene for each stream that I do. So for example, right now on YouTube, I made a picture. So it's recording the entire screen on my laptop, okay? So it's I don't show like my shop or anything. I made my picture bigger so they see the whole background whereas you guys have the cropped version. Okay? But on what I multicast through OBS and then to the to the right of me, I go like this, it's backwards on the computer. To the right of me is a neon box. And all of your questions are in the neon box. The entire chat is moving and the poll is still there on the desktop, but I don't know that it's actually on there because sometimes there is a little bit of lag with it. I think it's gone. Let's see. Yeah, interesting that it's there. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Yeah, sometimes on OBS it captures, but it is continuously moving. And then it shows. Yep, there it is. So sometimes it freezes on there. I don't know why it does it. You're finally doing a chat show? Wait, if I keep it up, bring you into the 90s? Is that what you're going to call it? You want, yeah, OBS. So Tony, OBS is not hard, but if you get the right setup, so there's 2 setups on it. I can do the vertical or I can do the whole screen. I want people to come in my stream. So when I multicast, I can multicast, but I can use OBS WebSockets and then I can add cameras. So currently I'm really techie and I have a lot of equipment. So currently I use this tiny little camera. Okay. So that might be like my blind box camera. Then I have like a nice camera here pointing down. That's my Sony. And then I have that underneath. My screen is split. I'm at the top. And then my co host, which is some weird looking doll, is with this thing. And this thing is like really great camera. And it's tiny. Yeah. But then you have got all the wires all plugged in your computer, and you got to make sure your computer can handle that, right? Your internet's got to be fast. Mine's super fast. But not everybody needs all that. And then I have like a Stream Deck, and there's other ones you can buy, cheap ones. This, which is a bunch of programmed buttons, which is basically like clicking with some software to make sure. But it's like a little complicated. If you don't know, it can be too much. But if you have it, I finally got it where I want it through lots of trial and error. What do you use what for? That? That's when I get a RAID. So this little Stream Deck, which is about 150 bucks, it's plugged in with a USB cable, USB-C to USB. Each of these little buttons programs something to happen on the screen in my late night show. So maybe one of them is a Labubu flying on its scooter. I have a little icon that will blink on the screen for my shop. A flash sale lightning bolt that says flash sales. I have a swoosh that's a purple heart, and it makes a sound people like. Although the sound wasn't working. I have a thank you that drops down. That's in neon. I have a squirrel dancing for a raid. I have a little Spanky from the Little Rascals throwing money out, and it says, "Give me that shit." It's so fun, you know. And then I have a good night one with this cat sleeping on the moon, blowing a snot bubble. Um, and then I have good old Witchy Poo from Sid and Marty Croft, and I have a swipe button that actually goes down. And for a while, nobody was telling me because I'm not seeing the whole screen. I had the S covered up. So what do you think it said on the screen? Wipe, 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 wipe. Yeah, just a reminder to take care of yourself. Yeah, whoops. But that's okay. My Insomniac Club here on Whatnot is pretty wild. They are so much fun. Peacock, what's going on? Yeah, so we have fun. And I try to change it up because it kind of gets boring. The same one I had Stitch, I had Thriftworks, had Squishworks, Squishette. I had those on there. I now that I broke my OBS. Now that I fixed it, I need to go back and add the double buttons. So because I want to get the bigger one now. It's like 200 and something bucks. So I'll probably either add a second one or the big one. The big one is double the buttons, I think, because it'd be nice to just have them across. So I don't know. I'm gonna look at some other ones. There's a lot of other alternatives to it because they're expensive. Yeah. Hey, Wonder Wagon, how you doing? You were thrifting. Did you find anything good? What time are we at? We're at 11:49. I started late today, so but we're probably gonna raid in a little bit here. I always like to raid to a new seller. Do you guys have any other questions? You tried to use your laptop for OBS and it was a no-go. So if you have a Chromebook, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You need to have a good processor on your computer. So my laptop is you don't need to have a Mac. You could have a PC Windows. My computer is a MacBook Pro. It's an M3 Pro. So it has a pretty good video card. It has a pretty good processor. So right now I'm streaming. I can touch it. It's not hot. There's no fans. It's not loud because fans pick up on the microphone. So I had to invest in a laptop. Mine is a little more expensive because being a photographer, I want to have good equipment that's going to last. So you don't have to get that kind. You can get a pretty good, not a Chromebook. Yeah, you can have a desktop. I was just telling Thriftworks because he wants to do the streaming, and I said to be honest, the Mac Mini is 599 up to like $1,000 if you want to have a dedicated computer that's going to stream with no issues. You just need to connect the keyboard, the mouse, the monitor, and a microphone and maybe a camera for like those down shots, overhead shots. That's a good investment. It's standalone, separate. Yeah. You were just gonna go to the Apple store. So like my computer was probably about over 3 grand, probably like 3,500 bucks. But I got like a bigger hard drive. I got 64 gigabytes of RAM, I think is in mine. Yeah, I have it was kind of 2 terabytes, I think I have on this one. Um, but It probably gonna last a while. It's a great machine. But it's almost like so quiet. And then I invested in a microphone. So my microphone's just sitting on my desk right here, and it's literally this. And if I want to mute this, right? It changes colors. You also have to be careful of sound interference. And I always have headphones plugged into it so I can listen to make sure I'm not echoing. I can hear myself really clear. And every time I touch it, like it's really clear. Yeah. And you could watch some videos how to set that up. Luckily, I haven't had any echo issues on YouTube in a long time. Yeah. So I kind of scored on that mic. That's a HyperX. I think it's a Quadcast. I don't know. It's like $160 microphone. I went to Target like a long time ago, probably like 3 years ago, and they had some weird sale that they made a mistake on. It was $20. Super score. And they were like, "Oh, we can't sell that to you for that." I'm like, "Oh, that's what the price says." I got it for $20. Yeah. Um, but that was really lucky. It's been a great mic. There was some glitches with it. So I installed like a ground for it. Yeah, but you don't have to buy like a $150 mic. If you want something that's gonna last, spend a little bit more money. Amazon has these mics. They're like Fine, Fine. I think for Fine. I think that's the brand. They're okay, but they stop working after like a year. Because I bought a couple for my kids and they're 20, $30. So if you're beginning, that's good enough. It's similar looking. They come in black and then at the top you tap it and it mutes it. You just got to watch out. Like when I'm selling and I have the mic on this side, which I don't put it over here anymore. I hit that top piece a lot and it mutes it. Yeah, I kind of goofed up on that. So you can get a mic that you don't have to worry about. You can get wireless mics. Then you're talking about a little bit of money and a little bit of maintenance because you have to actually charge the batteries. How about that? You have to charge the batteries. I have some Rode mics. They're very, very good mics. Hold on, I'm going to move all these cards out of my way and I'm going to show you guys. I know someone said, "Can you do an OBS show?" I actually have done a couple of them where I show people how to set them up. A lot of people, so I don't really do those anymore, but a lot of people watch those videos. So like the Rode mics, they can be pretty spendy. That's these. They're little wireless. I wear it here, turn it on, and then connect it to my computer as the transmitter. So I set it up in OBS like I add a new when I go in here, like I add a new input capture. This is all technical. Then I can add the microphone. But these last me a while actually. As long as I charge them, each person could have one. The only thing I don't like about when you have two mics like that with two people is it you have to set it up in there so if like say for example my husband does a show with me and he's talking in his mic, it's going to go in the right ear and I'm going to go in your left ear. I don't like that. I changed my settings so now I'm in stereo in both ears. And if I have him do it, then we both are. Yeah, it's when you use the two mics. But this is nice because at night when I'm talking, it's really in there and you can really hear me. Yeah, you guys right now, there's no mic connected on my phone, but I actually I can add this. Should I add this to my thing right now? Will it work? No, because I would have to unplug. But yeah, sometimes at night I do that. It clips, it clips. It's meant to slide on top of your camera on your DSLR like this. So it rests right above it, where like a flash would go. Yeah, on a hot shoe. So that's pretty much it. That's real technical. I got real nerdy there for you guys. If you guys are lost and like, what is she talking about? You have to go back to YouTube and watch the other part of the conversation. Yeah, okay, I want to ask you guys by a number. Um, if you use Android, put a 1. If you use Apple, put a 2. If you use OBS, put a 3. Excuse me. We should probably do a poll, huh? All right, I think I'm done with the coffee. I always have water because if like I talk a lot, yeah. So Apple. Ohio nurse, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, two's for Apple, one's for Android. Let's do a poll. What's up, friend? How you doing? Okay. Would you like to learn OBS or multicasting? Okay. I don't know why I put no in there twice. Yes, no. What in the D is that? Nope. Yeah. So that's like nope. Nope for sure. Yeah. Answer. Let's see what you guys come up with. Some people don't. And also, I would say about 90% of the sellers on here, they don't need it. Use your phone. Because, like, if you're an Apple user, there's a really cool feature where I can show my screen. If I wasn't tight and tight today, I would do a demo of it. Maybe next week, Apple users, let's talk about Facecam and some of the seller tools that are in the app. So I can show facing this way, and then I can do like a little kind of OBS thing where I could have my picture in there too. I've done shows like that. It's kind of fun. You want to know your options. Exactly. American Honey, how are you doing, my friend? The fun overlays. Yeah, and that's pretty much what you would do. Yep. You just have to watch out. If you're multicasting to YouTube and you use some of these fun uh videos or clips and you're multicasting over there, you'll get a copyright strike if they have any audio that's been copywritten. Yep. Even on the images too. Oh, to Zoe's Treasure. I haven't been to the shows, so I need to probably go to their shows. There's a lot of people. Craig, Craig, he works for Whatnot. He has a great OBS. He sells magic cards. He also sells really good cookies. Yeah, something similar. Yeah, a lot of the card streamers, you'll see they have like the split screen right at the top. Oh, the cookies are good. They're good. They're bougie cookies. I need to buy more of them. That's how good they were. They're just thick. Cincy. Oh my gosh, my friend. Craig. Yeah, I don't I a beautiful package. Very good cookies. Yeah, so what happens is they have a split screen. So at the top, the seller has their picture, right? And then at the bottom, it's a close up of the coin, usually, probably with a very high end camera. Can you use a webcam for it? You can. But the less light that you have, the quality of the webcam image goes drastically down. Spend the money on good lights. Lights that don't get you hot. Don't even use a ring light. If you use a ring light, this is what's going to happen to you. I don't know if this one's set up. That's what's going to happen to you. Don't use a ring light. I'm just flipping that switch. Okay. Don't. Look at my lighting now. I have a panel light. It's on low. Isn't that better? There's no glare in my glass. You have to know how to light yourself. You can use a ring light. But so here I am, and my light is up there. Okay. So it's above. And the only glare you see is from my monitors. Your glasses are cursed. It's so crazy when I go to a show and they have this. I can't. I can't. There's a panel light that's like $30 on Amazon. It was on TikTok Shop. It might be 40 or 50 now because everything's gone up. It's a 10-inch LED light, panel light. Yeah. Yep. They're great. But again, I'll show you it. Panel light. That's it. I have no overhead lights, but I have these big mounts that are like another $30 on my desktop. Okay, that mount kind of like I have one somewhere. Okay, I have one I'll take off the desk. So here it is. It has the movable head so you can mount whatever item on. I thought I had one down here, but I guess I must have took it apart. So then I have my phone mount and then I have this. So my desk goes here and then I tighten it so it can be right here when I'm streaming. Oh, here it is. I'll just demo it real quick. Thank you. I mean, I my lighting's kind of like not the greatest. So I have that on my desktop. Now I have this, which is a, ooh, that would have hurt. a Joby, Joby phone mount. Okay. It has two options. So I can screw it down on here like this. So my phone goes down. That's why I like these ball heads, because they have a spot. If you can't see it, swipe the chat to the left. It'll go away. Okay. I can also mount it. I can also mount it with a light at the top if I have the right adapter. If I mount it here, okay, I'll show you what I do. So I mount it first and then, okay, and then I have to find this, right? Because I want to stream sports cards. So I am going to have this on my desktop. Let's see if I have a device over here I could borrow. I have a couple of them, but let's see what's ready that I could actually. Don't I have I knew I had a device in here somewhere. So I have a little iPhone here. I'm going to pop it in here. Okay, I'm going to snap this piece down. This one's not on. Okay, but I can take and charge it. Now, whatever's below me, I'm going to be able to stream. But look, it's in my way, right? It's in the way. So now I can put my product down here, and then it's going to go on my second cam on OBS. You guys don't even see it. All you see is the tabletop. I'm not showing it right now because it's set up in OBS. Yeah. Yeah, you got the ring light. Now, sometimes ring lights are great, but a lot of times it's doing this with the light. It's constricting the light. And that's why it's like this. If you have a panel light, and the light is on a ring light going on the panel light, the light's going like this. Okay. So also pay attention to when you have lighting and you have recessed lighting in your house. If that's on and the ring light's on, you're going to lose that kind of that look and feel. Like it's daytime right now. I could probably turn it off, but it adds just a little bit. You know, if I go too, I'm totally blown out, right? I just try to make it kind of like a, yeah. You guys got the panel light, right? Okay, there we go. Hey, the White Owl, how you doing? But do you have to set it up with that? No. I have so many mounts. I invested in a ton of mounts. I like Neewer, Neewer. You could look in Marketplace and see if anybody sells them. This one also, I'll just show you. I'm gonna move it back. There's also like small rigs. So I have this, right? I have this. So it's yay high. Well, what if I could go even higher? I could also use that for a light. I always keep this on the end of my desk because sometimes I stream my cards over here. It does leave a little mark on a desk. Okay. It does leave a little mark on the desk, but I use the, you know what, like Michael's or Joanne, well, Joanne's is gone. The little felt. I actually glue 2 layers of the felt inside it so it doesn't screw up my desk. Yeah, we just talked about multicasting for a little bit. On my website, darchivist.com, I have a bunch of information on there about the mounts. Because there's some that are just straight poles that have a like arm. And then there's the small rig one is like a really good one. I bought it on TikTok shop and it broke after a few months, but I fixed it. I don't like the ball head with the side mount because for people that have like arthritis or issues with their hands, it's kind of hard. I like a quick release. So I spend extra money for those ball heads. They're like 40 bucks a pop. And then all my stuff is one thing. That's just for my desk. I have camera bags for my photo stuff when I go out that I never remove from the bag. It goes for jobs only. Okay, check out our. Would you like to learn OBS? 71% of you want to learn it. No and nope. So 15% said no, thank you. And 14% said, what in the D is that? You know, it's not for everybody. And you're not required to use it. It's just a way to like, it's confusing, Brainiacs. If if your stream's working for you now, stay with that. Don't feel like you have to, please hold. Don't feel like you have to do that. It's not for everybody. Whatnot investigating multiple services. I got an alert from Whatnot. We're aware of an issue. Okay, there's just some outage like 8 minutes ago and Whatnot. Lots of glitches. Um, yeah, so you can't multicast on Android on the app itself, but you can use OBS. So I started my stream on YouTube 5 minutes before I went live. And then people that subscribe to me got notified that I'm live. Yeah, and sometimes people come to it, sometimes they go watch it for later. Yeah. So what makes it confusing, Brainiacs? You're welcome, you guys. What makes multicasting confusing? To be honest, and no judgment. There's never any judgment here. I'm going to end the poll. Excuse me. Okay, the poll is in, so it gets out of the way. Yeah. So Android, maybe in the future they'll be able to. Just the setup of it. Okay, so Bug, who works for Whatnot, made a video. So in the Seller Hub, okay, if you go to Whatnot, I'm going to go to Whatnot right now. Okay, on YouTube, you guys might see it. Oh, you're not going to see it. If you go to the Seller Hub, when you go first to the homepage of the Seller Hub, to the right side are videos. I think the first one is like pre-show videos. You always want to make sure you click in the Seller Hub, and then there you're going to see tutorials, pre-show, showtime, shipping, and then up level your day-to-day. All of those videos are really good. They're from Whatnot. And they're probably going to be changing those videos and adding some more. There's one that says stream with OBS. If you want to really learn OBS, as far as the setup, watch the video. Yeah, Bug. I don't know what Bug's how. He's an engineer. Yeah, so when you see Whatnot sellers and they're doing their chat shows on there, Bug and I think Craig and there's a few other people, you don't see them. They're in the background working on all the tech part of it. But Bug made a really good video. He has a great stream, and a pretty simple setup. It's just it becomes complicated when you start adding all those little animations, right? And you have to know your setup, and then there's like scenes and sources, like so on the fly. I'm screen recording. I could switch to like another camera view where I'm only like freaking out, going, "You guys, check out the giveaway!" And then I have a giveaway. My goal is to have a giveaway cam, and that just is always there, and then the giveaways running or whatever the item is, and then have me not be on there and just have the stuff running. Yeah, or next in line, and then all I have to do is I'm moving and you see the process. That would be actually kind of cool to do that. Like I think that his and hers shop Chicago, if they had like two camera, one on them and then a second camera, like what's next in line, that would be so cool with OBS. Because then people would be like, oh, what's going on? And then you can buy graphics if you can't make your own. That could be like a circle, you can make it, and that little dedicated camera is pointing right at your item. But that's very intricate. Like I said, card sellers, they're up here on the camera with OBS and just like a rectangle or maybe some graphics. And then the other half is their close up of them dealing the cards or ripping or shipping. There's tons of things. Is there a jewelry seller that uses OBS that I know of? There used to be a couple of them. I'm sure that anybody sell jewelry that uses OBS? Adam, oh, Picker Adam, that's right. Picker Adam. But he has one camera, right? That's right. Picker Adam, I think, has just one camera set up. He's a legend, by the way. Follow him. Yeah, we always talk about OBS. We're so nerds. I think he only has a one camera, but it's zoomed in really good. Yeah, because he uses a really nice color to make his item pop. His background or his tabletop is like a turquoise runner. Mine is like a green, and I have a turquoise. Not that bright, but it really makes jewelry, his sterling silver, pop on camera. And then he has like some neon colors and lights, like a ring light in the back with his logo in it. And it works, and you're not buying him because you wouldn't have enough money to buy Picker Adam. You're buying that piece of jewelry and he's showing it close up on camera. Okay, can you co-host yourself? You can, but you can only be live in one show with your account once. You can't like have four shows. You don't, you can't do that. You don't want to do that. It would create an issue for sound. It would create an issue for sound. So, yeah, you, you can do that, but you need to have this set up like in another room and you're going to have echo and you're going to have a lot of tech issues. So that's why the whole idea between OBS is to eliminate that. Yeah. Good question though. Dueling sellers with two separate channels on one screen. Well, yeah. I mean, everybody would love to have co-sell on here. So I submitted an idea to the people that develop Whatnot that actually build the different things in the app. So hey, you never know. Maybe one day it'll be on the list. Yep, I did the other night. I had me up here. I had three cameras. I had my crazy Kenneth co-host up here. Okay, and then I had a split screen with the bottom. Yep. They do listen. They've done some cool things. They listen to all of us. Like when you guys have suggestions and you say, D, you know what? I'm having a problem with this on the app. This would be like a cool idea. I take that information, I screen capture it, and I upload it to this Excel spreadsheet where we all put our information and ideas or suggestions or community sentiment kind of things. And when someone tells me like Andy had a couple of great ideas for OBS, and I told him talk to Andy. Andy Someta is the one that gave me the idea for some of the other stuff, like type of coding. Yep. Right now, we just have to raid into co-host, right? No, you don't raid into co-host. Yes, that's right. Andy right there. He's very smart. Yeah. Whatnot. You should talk to Andy. So I put it. Picker Adam had a suggestion the other day. What did he say? He thought it would be so cool if Whatnot gave, like YouTube gives the play buttons, if Whatnot had one for people that did 10,000 sold items, $10 million, 10 million sold items, those kind of things. Because it also creates like a really fun and momentum, like, maybe some kind of thing you could print out when you hit 1K or 5K sold, 5,000 items, or when you reached an amount of time. So I plugged that into the spreadsheet because I thought that was a cool because if we're a community, let's do some community things, right? Everybody loves that. But again, now Whatnot would have to hire a full-time employee to handle that. Maybe more than one employee, maybe three employees. Maybe that's not where they're going with the app, right? But it would be kind of like a fun thing to like get the community pumped up. Look, hey you guys, check it out. I just got a Whatnot 500 items, really cool little leather wallet. Whatever. They're not going to send us anything, but you see, you catch my drift with it. Yeah, print your own out. I mean, the Bay does that. The Bay does that when you reach milestones. You print it out, and then eventually, when you become big enough on there, and you do $5, $10 million, and not everybody wants that. I think they send you some. So I put on there, talk to Picker Adam. That's his recommendation. Yeah, is the idea list for what? No, it's not. There's a group of sellers who are community hosts. I'm one of them. There's like 32 other ones where Whatnot's gone in the community and they've watched people that have chat shows who basically talk about Whatnot, you know, as it is supposed to be, right? So they selected me a while back, about a year ago, and it's been fun just to like, basically, I'm not Whatnot. I don't work for Whatnot, but they just give you like fun stuff. I know the merch is really highly sought after. And I know they're working on that. I mean, they've said that they want to have a merch shop where people could buy it, but again, you got to buy employee. You got to hire employees that can facilitate all of those orders, or you drop ship, or you do all these things. They still got to have somebody handle that portion of the business. I don't know. I asked like a couple of times, Andy. I'm sure they'd like to open it like yesterday, but they got to have a whole department for merch. Yeah, I think the back end is hands down the best. I agree with that. Yeah, so, again, those are all great ideas in the community. And Whatnot, do they listen? Absolutely. Do they do every single thing? Could you imagine their to-do list? Yeah, their to-do list is probably humongous. But it takes all of us because we are all Whatnot. We are all Whatnot, all of us. And they listen to that. They may not like, maybe their goal isn't hold on. Maybe Whatnot's goal is, over time to do some of these things, but again, I don't get that information. And if I were to get the information, I can't share it. I got a call. That's why. Yeah, growing means change, pivot, change. No sound now? How about now? Yeah, it came back. I got a call, so it drops it out for like 30 seconds. Yeah, so I just wait. Yeah, so if I were to get any info like on that, my loyalty is to Whatnot. Like if they trust me with confidential information, I'm not going to go blabbing on my chat show. That's just not how I operate, and nobody should be operating that way. So, and nobody has operated that way. Yeah. But there, I can tell you guys this from what I know and what I've seen. There's some really cool things that have changed and are gonna continue to change on the app to benefit everybody. You just have to pivot with it and wait and patient. What's up, Holly? How you doing? I mean, I've sold on a lot of different platforms, and this by far, like the back end of it is really up there. Yeah, the seller support is good. I agree. I agree. And I think one of my favorite things about Whatnot is the variety. The variety of sellers. I'm in the beta testing for shipping, like returns or issues like that, but I list my stuff like sold as is, no returns. There are exceptions. So for example, if I sell this coffee cup and I sell it to you and I ship you some other cup, I made the mistake, right? You didn't make the mistake. But if I'm running this item and I notice there's a big crack in it, I'm gonna be like, can you, we're gonna cancel that. I can't ship that to you, kind of thing. Yeah. But if someone says, oh, I think I sleep swiped, what did I buy? And then you kept bidding on it with somebody else back and forth, I'm not gonna cancel the order. Yeah. In good sense, you took a $5 item and made it $35 with two other people that really wanted it. So you just bought the item. Yeah. I used to always be like, oh, okay, I'll do it. Not anymore. Because I had people tell me, D, what did I buy? I'm like, well, you bought the Star Wars. And they're like, well, I was sleeping. Meanwhile, they were chatting the whole time. And then they sent me like a whole long message. And that was like the second time this happened. And then I didn't see the message till later because I was getting ready to ship it. And then they were in another show I was in and they were buying like a couple $100 worth of stuff. So when they had told me they couldn't afford it. Yeah. So don't lie. Yes, don't lie. You're doing good, good. Yeah. So every periodically follow Whatnot seller's account on Whatnot. They do really great chat shows. Let me put it in here. And they give away some stuff sometimes. And bookmark all the shows. So I tagged it right down there. I don't know what they have coming up. Let's see. They had a live demo the other day. I think I missed it. Let's see. Whatnot. Oh, yeah. We're probably going to raid in a few minutes. Let's see. I'll find a new seller right now. Let's see when their next show is. Probably on a Wednesday. What was funny is so I would do the morning and then Living Bliss had a chat show. Liz had Mondays. And then we would do these early ones, right? And then Whatnot came on and was doing them, and they're like, whoa, it's a lot. So now they do special ones. So, for example, next Tuesday, they're going to have a new seller live demo at 11 a.m. Um, Maybe we'll raid into that one. It's always fun. There's 1,000 bookmarks for that. And then the 17th is seller best practices. It is with another seller talking about their business. And then September 23rd, they have outdoor gear, which is a new category. And they have a new seller on there. September 24th, 11 a.m., all things shipping. They're going to be probably teaching shipping on that one. And then they're going to have October 8th. New product updates, you guys. I'm kind of excited for this one because I have a feeling about something. Yeah, very exciting. Okay, October 22nd, seller best practices. Moms and Crumbs is going to be on. Cindy from Moms and Crumbs. I'm stoked. And then show production, best practices, October 29th. That's what's scheduled right now. 7 shows. Go bookmark them. Go bookmark all that. Introduction of new product updates. So you want to not miss that one. They will be eventually available on the Whatnot YouTube replay. Laura, how are you doing, my friend? Yeah, don't miss them. I always miss them. I always. I just pinned it. Let me pin it again real quick. Yeah, that's the account you want to follow right there. I know. I'm glad to see you. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, so you guys follow those. So when I do the other resources are these. Okay, help.whatnot.com is another one. If you're a new seller, this is a great place to go to also. Selleracademy.whatnot.com. And if you want to go to your seller hub, right there, seller.whatnot.com. It'll take you right to it. Okay. New sellers and existing sellers. Pay attention. I'm going to talk about a scam here that's happening. And it happens on all the platforms. Um, you might get sent a message and it might say, "Hi, this is Joe from Whatnot. Click on this. Congratulations, your item just sold." So I had some headphones that are like $20. They sent the thing and they put, "Your headphones just sold for 2,500 USD." Oh, wow. Right away, red flag. It's a scam. It's from some random account. It didn't even have the name Whatnot. I'm just going to tell you guys, and if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, Whatnot will never send you that kind of message, not in your inbox on Whatnot. Okay. That will be under the message requests because they filtered that stuff now. They're doing a really good job at getting rid of it. But again, a lot of these bots are really smart. So just know that when you go into the messages on the app, okay, there is gonna be a big like peach orange thing. It says messages from Whatnot, employees of Whatnot, or outside partners like postal carriers will never be sent. Okay, now there's a new warning up at the top because Whatnot doesn't want you guys to click on it. There are people that don't know. There's a QR code. Don't click on that. It's not from Whatnot. Whatnot will 1000% never message you in there. They used to send messages a long time ago, but they weren't the kind you could message back and forth. They locked that out. They would give you like a notification, let you know, "Hey, you've been pre-selected to be invited to a Pokemon event local. Click on this link to take you to the scheduling." But they don't do it that way anymore. They actually do it via email. So if you get one of those, decline the message and it automatically flags it to Whatnot, or report it as scam activity. Okay, it's account issue. Okay, then you need to contact Whatnot about that right away and email them at trustandsafety@whatnot.com. I would take screenshots of all it and send it to them and let them know. Yeah, never ever click on any kind of email like that. Your best bet is to actually go to your browser, sign into whatnot.com, and then go in and check your messages. Don't ever click on links in emails, even if you know who it's from. If it's from your bank, don't click on the link. Go to your bank and then log in on the bank. Um, you got one last week in the chat show. Yeah, never click on links. Do not click on links. Eventually, what's going to happen, Whatnot's going to ban any kind of links. They're going to ban any kind of links. What's up, Rochelle? How you doing, my friend? They will ban it for safety because most people don't realize it. They just see a link and they click. Do not click on the link. Okay. I told you now, and I'm going to always keep it real with you guys. Don't click on the links. People send me shows, D, and they have a link. Don't click on it. Sometimes they could share their show to you. You can go to their account name and view their profile and go on the show. Because sometimes, if they're really skillful, they can make it look like it's going to Whatnot and it goes somewhere else. Yep. Yeah, just like YouTube, just like anything. Um, yeah. Those of you who sent me the message about the shipping school, I got your messages. Yeah, it's unfortunate it happens, but you definitely want to let Whatnot know right away. So screenshot all of it and email that to trust and safety, TRUSTANDSAFETY @whatnot.com. And be sure to title it what it is. You're going to get an automated like general reply. After that's done, they'll contact you to say, "Oh, what's your name and your number?" and you'll verify, and then you'll get like a person emailing you back. So it might take, 24 to 48 hours. It just depends. Trust and safety, they don't mess around with that stuff. They'll be on top of it. And then you could go to the message, and when you're in the message box, there's three dots to the right of the person's name. You can report, but before you report it, hit block and then report. And then when you click on report, I'm just going to click report on someone random. There is account integrity as the option. The very first one is on platform scam. You click on that and then you write on it like legit send me a QR code to click and try to pretend to be Whatnot. Whatnot sees all the messages, so you can flag it that way. And a lot of people are not going to see the messages unless they know how to look into message requests or archive. I don't have any message requests right now. I usually block those because they're usually that kind of thing. American Honey. No, you could co-host multiple people now. They did fix the glitch a few days ago. Hey, John and Diane, you've gotten 4 messages saying my item has been sold. Yeah, block report, block report, block report, block report on all of them. Yeah, never click on those because you don't know what you're gonna click on. You could literally click on something that automatically downloads and destroys your computer or your phone, like steals all your info. They're good. With the right skill set, you can literally send anybody anything, they'll click on it. Yeah, so some sellers do use links for the Sign Up Genius. Well, here's the thing. If you know the seller already and they're sending you it, it's probably pretty safe. But if it's some random new seller you're not friends with, you don't have any mutual friends, that's a red flag. So I would definitely check the profile, see if you've been friends. Sometimes people that don't even have shows are sending these shows. Um, that's something to think about as well. I don't know who that person is. Yeah. Craftique Mall. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know who that person is. Are they a seller on here? There is no plan, as far as I know, about co-selling. I don't. I have. There's no plan right now. They're doing a lot of other stuff. I'm hoping that in the future, and they have it. Maybe they are. I don't know. Some sellers use Discord, but there's still a link. Yeah. Any kind of a site that's external from Whatnot is still going to be some link elsewhere. Again, know who the seller is that you're clicking on. Don't just click on a random person's. Some people use QR codes. Like I built a QR code for Living Bliss Vintage that like for the Vendu. So there's a QR code to take you to Vendu to be able to sign up to get the 50% off or whatever the percentage is. Yeah, so there's no ETA that I know of for that. But what if there was? I couldn't say. But there's not. I really wish there was. Whatnot, dear Whatnot. We would love to have co-selling. You can co-host and sell, but you better trust the person that you're co-hosting with. You better trust that you're going to give them a shipping label. Technically, I think that kind of is a violation because you're sharing customer info with another person. So I kind of think it's against the rules, to be honest. 80s dude, what's up, my friend? Yeah. So I think it might be against the rules. But again, go to help.whatnot.com and search prohibited. Search the rules. Know the rules. Do you have to know everything? No, but you should read it. I just read the terms and conditions and I'm going to put it on YouTube. Yeah. And I kind of explained some stuff in it. Somebody asked me for ASMR of me reading it. So I said, okay. Yeah, I have to publish it. It's taking up a lot of space. I didn't realize how long it was. Like I read it and some things clicked. Some things suddenly really clicked with the terms and I was like, "Oh, you can't do that." I mean, I knew a lot of the rules, but you can't know everything. Yeah. But there is a way to co-sell and not share anything, but I have to test it. I have someone that said they would test it with me. So we're going to try it soon. Yeah, it might be a workaround. And it's legit where all of my orders will be under my account and all of their orders will be on their account. But it's very techy. Yeah, it's very techy. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I know it can work. I know it can work. So just cross your fingers. And if you guys have any kind of suggestions, feel free to always send them to me. And I'm happy to send them to Whatnot. And hey, that's how we are all the app, all of us, the heart of the app, right? I appreciate you guys for being here today. Give me a sec here. We're gonna raid out. We're gonna raid. I put in some time today. Um, you know what, Brainiacs? I've just I wasn't really into the tech stuff. My mom used to always tell me, you should be in computers because I could pretty much figure out how something works. Whether I take it apart and fix it. Like I have my camera lenses that are broken, so I could take them apart and fix them. I've done that tons of times. But now that I've, gotten a little older, I could buy the camera lens already brand new. I don't want to fix it anymore. Cause it's like all these little intricate tiny parts. I'll just buy brand new. Sometimes I do. I'm up for the challenge. Thank you, my friend. So good to see you too. Thank you, thank you. So tonight I'm off. Tonight I am off. I'm gonna try to find a first show. I like to raid first shows a lot of times because I want to let you guys, after we talking about selling, I want you guys to see that you can do it too. You can do hard things. So let me find a show. And the category doesn't matter to me. I try to look at the show to make sure the store is preloaded. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I always make sure the show is preloaded, that they're actually running stuff, right? Or they're encouraged to run the stuff. So right now there's a lot of there's a couple of French sellers. I try to say US on some of these. Oh my gosh. Let's see the, oh, he has a lot. I want to have somebody that has not a lot of people. Okay, here we go. Sort by viewers, low to high. But yeah, I always do that. And if I could find first show after rebranding, I love a shop my shelves. Oh, it's book show. A virtual store. I gotta look at that. Can't have virtual shows. So. Oh, they're talking. They actually have auction items, buy it now items, giveaways, no giveaways, solds. Okay. I might have one person. I always like to look because in the middle of the night, I'm tired. I'm raiding whoever I can find that looks like they don't have a lot of people in there. And sometimes at night I could have like, 20, 30 people. I could have up to over 100. When I have these chat shows at night, a bunch of people come because they know that that's when I run the nighttime ones. But I don't always do the chats at night. That's when I'm trying to sell and do the different things. Um, wow. Okay, there's a lot of new sellers. First show. All right, let's see what we have. So I want to find the right one. Appreciate you guys. So what's everybody doing today? Now's your opportunity. When I say share your show right here, put your show in the chat and let people know what you're selling, when your next show is, and don't say I have a show or I'm new here. And if you're new to let people know. Good luck. I wish you all the luck. Yes, I think that's awesome. Per show. Tuesday's your day. Yes, hitting up those personal goals. I love it. I love that. What am I going to do today? Well, my one kid is home sick, so I'm probably going to get us some lunch and I'm going to take a nap. I already have all my shipping done. I'm going to make I'm going to make some cult merch. I'm going to make some cult merch. Yeah, I'm making cult merch today. I'm going to send it to our cult leader. Oh, thank you, thank you. I am. I'm making buttons. I'm gonna make some buttons. That you wear. Yeah, I'm gonna send them in her package. I know she lurks in here. Yeah, and you guys, when I invite you, I'm not telling you. When I invite you to share your shows, start following other people. Some people do follow for follow. It's totally up to you. The buttons are fun, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna make some other ones. I wanted to like put like I bought it on Whatnot, make some, but you can't use other people's logos, so I don't want to do that. But I can make myself one for personal, right? Or do it like, yeah, you can't even do a Whatnot logo on a T-shirt, a giveaway, because that's theirs. Unless I want to buy a license, and I don't think they're selling their license right now. Yeah, so any shirts you see people sell it, they're not supposed to do that. You know what? I don't think I've ever rated into a book show. Let me check out this seller right now. I think I'm gonna rate a book show. So this person, let's check out the reviews. I like to look at ship time. 1 day shipping. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're going to be rating this person. We are. And then I'm going to, yeah. So all they do is sell books. Avid reader, book rescuer. Okay, I already like the person. So we're going to rate them. They sold 659 items. So they're under the 1K and they're running books. Perfect. Okay. Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Always showing new resin creations. Oh, I need to send you a message. I want to ask you if you can do something. Well, not ask you, but I want to see. I want to ask you a question about something. They do have some fire in the book. I bought some books. Even if you like want to decorate, there's people that's all kinds. I don't know the seller. I just liked that she's running books. She's got her store loaded, auction tab is loaded. Her buy it now has just got like 20 products, but multiples available of each. And she sold about 19 products. And she has a buyer's giveaway and a giveaway setup. Does she have to have a giveaway? Not at all. Yeah, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. All right, you guys. Just like I always say, be kind. Uh, do one nice thing for somebody else that doesn't cost anything. Okay? And that one thing could be go look in the mirror and be like, God, you look good today. You're gonna have a good day. Pep talk, pep talk, pep talk, right? Yeah. Listen, have a good day. And you come across people that aren't having a good day and you feel their energy, like if you go on a stream and they're just not the good vibe you want, that transfers to you guys, okay? A smile does go a long way. Agreed. Yeah, be kind and rewind. Unless somebody doesn't deserve your kindness, just get away from them. That energy will transfer to you. I like good energy. I'm getting older. Life, we got to raid right now. Wait till you see what she's got on camera. You guys have a good one. She better show that again. It's pretty funny. Okay, we're going to raid. Everybody have a good day. And I will see you guys tomorrow night on Whisper Wednesday. All right, here we go. Perfect time. And she's opening up the book. I'll see you guys all later. Take care. Bye bye. So we raided over here to this. So this seller I don't know, but I like her. She's got her store loaded. She's running some books. She's on camera. She's got 1 day ship time. I say that as hands down really excellent. You guys don't see the seller. I'm so sorry. So the seller's name is Para Diva. Let's see if I can show it. Yeah, Para Diva. Only you see my whatnot chat. Okay, we're gonna end it here, but it's Paradiva 86. Go check her out and have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, Insomniacs.